the lanes for the towers. You have Ember. What does he need? He needs level 6. Vessel is amazing this game, but all he needs truly is level 6, and he'll be able to hunt down the supports on the other side.
Quick check on the facets. Nothing really out of the ordinary. I guess the Agent of Galeron is the one we were sort of talking about. With maybe something like an unstable concoction or even an ice path, that's going to be a pretty easy setup in the safe lane. Got to keep our eyes out for action happening on the sides. But yeah, we'll see whether Nigma Galaxy can turn their fate around. Definitely the fan favorites, but I think every Nigma Galaxy true fan knows that, like you said, online tournaments, you know, not really their thing. It's they kind of unlock a different part of them the second they get to physical in-person lands, but sometimes, you know, they sit in the boot camp, they're comfortable, and it doesn't really sort of mean the best thing for them in terms of gameplay. And both of these teams currently at the 0-2 point, so you really need to try and turn things around. Yes, if you go 0-3, there is still mathematically a chance for you to force some sort of tiebreaker, but it's just this huge improbability, so it would be really convenient if you could just win this series.
Yeah, absolutely. It would help you, just not to rely on Murphy's Law afterwards. So let's see. When it comes to bounty runes, 2 on one side, I believe 2 on the other. These lanes are going to be a bloodbath, by the way. This is like one thing that I'm looking forward to, because sometimes you cast games where you just see the lanes and you know you're in for a snooze fest for 10 minutes.
Right.
I see these heroes and I don't even know what to expect. Like, look at the smoke.
What
from
is
Axe and
happening?
Sky.
Are they going mid? Is this?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
They're going for a first blood. Yes,
okay,
they are.
This. I don't know if that pause actually griefed the gank, because they just put a ward down and there's immediately a ping from the Timbersaw. I think Noob might have spotted it out. So this could just not work out very quickly.
Yeah, how to grief a gank? Planting a ward. I mean, in a smoke, planting a ward usually is ill-advised. So it is a slight mistake. Let's see. He's moving back.
Can they get this kill still, though? They're going to try and make it happen. Sunstrike there to put out the damage. Analog should be able to finish this one off. First blood drawn, but it's a lot of wasted time for both Jabs and Jokum. That just means that the Alchemist will get a very free first wave.
Is that worth it? Like, okay, your Skyrat gets first blood, right? But Emperor took so much damage. The lane is pushing in. Invoker lost 0 CS. Like, of course, he missed a couple of them now under the tower, but experience is there. Like, they honestly didn't gain all too much with this move. Bot lane Axe. Look, he's dead already.
Yikes. Okay, well, whatever the plan was, you know, I feel like you usually see stuff like this, Lizard, when it is a hopeless matchup, right? Like maybe you're thinking Ember into Huskar, it's going to be really difficult, you need to get him the first blood to make things even. But Invoker should be okay. I mean, you're probably going to trade farm. Maybe there's a bit of an advantage for the Exalt Invoker in terms of last hit damage, but it didn't really feel like Analog needed that big bump. He would have been fine regardless, and now Jab's game is just kind of griefed a little bit here, it feels like.
I think Ember is absolutely fine, yeah, in that lane, even alone. So, kind of interesting. I think they just wanted to be cute. They wanted to do something different, and they did do it. So, we'll see if Analog maybe gets a lot out of this. Because, keep in mind, Sumail did use a Sunstrike for the Axe kill. He didn't get the kill, so it did slow him down a little bit. One extra range creep, not going freely to him as well.
Well, and Jabs is certainly hoping that his mid laner can pay him back the interest for that early lost time in the lane. Everyone else seems to be doing fine. Like you mentioned, the Gyro and the Pugna up here. You were talking about Bloodbath. I think, you know, this top lane probably going to be the classic Gyro push and pull situation. Every time the lane's pushing in, 23's got to try and put some rockets on Noob's backside, but other than that, should be pretty chill.
Yeah, we'll see, we'll see. I think there's some kill potential there as well. But like you said, it's very easy to just push in the lane with Gyro and Pugna. The only question is, do you want to do it all the time? Can you actually maybe go for an extra point in Rocket Barrage and try and take some fights? Because I don't think they're weak. Bot lane?
Bot lane. Bit of a skirmish. A lot of damage coming out onto Jabs. Half HP already on the Axe. He is in a little bit of trouble, but the damage being returned. Jokum there, finding a big stake on the side of GH.
Sunstrike is ready.
Watch for it. Jokum has to put the
Instantly
juking shoes
moves.
on. Ah, that's rough. That's rough. I mean, it was a good try from Sumail. You gotta go for those, and Jab's able to claim the Lotus, so pretty pivotal timing for them on Nemesis. Just an additional little bonus in the next trade.
It's kind of cool because you know that Analog is speaking to him exactly at that moment. Bot lane stun again.
Lining it up. Jabs again, taking quite a bit of damage, but GH getting it turned on him. Last auto attack, still had a Fairy Fire on the backside. Jokum, can you find the vision through the trees? You absolutely will. Has to run through the acid spray though. He's just taking the tier 2000 punches. There's a big wave coming in, tier 2000. He's gonna try his best to deny as much as he can, but he doesn't want to put himself in a risky spot.
You know what's kind of cool for Jabs in this lane? It's like this hero, every time I play Axe, which recently has been a lot because the hero is absolutely broken, I want to buy as many rings as possible. Because it's just so good on you. And then you're playing into an Alchemist as well. And it kind of even makes more sense. So you're getting more damage, you're getting this extra sustain versus Jakiro and Alchemist with Acid Spray. It's just like a perfect item. Itemization is so easy for him this game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, right now he has the Helm Dom Q. That's even more armor once he gets the Helm of Iron Will.
He has it, I believe it's flying out in Skyrat, so he's gonna have that. This is where the lane basically becomes pretty easy for him.
They still managed to get quite a decent amount done. And the TA 2000, he's farming decently well, matching the CS of the X. And I feel like with Alchemist, you know, you're not too worried. If you can get an advantage in the lane, great. But this is just a hero that's going to be able to boost himself up. Once you get to that, maybe like 8 to 15 minutes, he hits the jungle, he finds the stacks. It's not going to be a big deal.
Absolutely. I wonder if they're gonna make some stacks for him. Right now, there's a lot of them in the triangle. Is he gonna pick them up? Is Timber going to do that instead? Because sometimes, well, not sometimes, 90% of the time, you want to give those stacks to the Timber in the current meta. Bot lane again. Sunstrike on Axe.
Through. Yeah, Jabs is just done here. Way too much damage. All the rings ain't gonna protect him from the magic damage. Just a bit too much between this duo. We talk a lot about the Jakiro combinations. There's the Kez, there's the Jug, there's the Ursa, but Alchemist, definitely a position one that can get aggressive in the lanes as well, and they're making it work for them here on Nigma Galaxy.
Who talks about Jakiro combinations? Jakiro is a combination. Like, you don't need anything.
He is the he makes the kills happen himself.
He's the combos. Like, this hero is just absolutely stupid right now. Like, the amount of DPS that you dish out, like, there isn't anything like him in the game at the moment. Maybe Snap. Snap is like close second.
Yeah. But I think the thing about Snap that makes it different is that if you're Lil Shredder, you can do the thing where you walk away from the Snap Fire. The problem with Jakiro is he slows you to a crawl. You can't even walk away if you wanted to. It's miserable.
Yep, absolutely. And he doesn't even need mana to spam you with his...
It's free. It's free.
Yeah,
it's
free.
illegal, almost. Here comes a bit of a dive. 23 coming through the Twin Gates, but he finds himself in a bit of an awkward position. Jokum's trying to come through to help him. I don't know whether this was what they wanted. Jabs is now going to chase towards Omar, while 23 still trying to find the kill onto Jakiro. This has just gotten a little bit disjointed and messy. Omar's coming around the tree lines. 23's got to watch himself though. He's very low. He might have a stake, but he just doesn't have enough HP to survive. And the trio of Nigma Galaxy will push back this aggressive attempt. Not what you want from your carry when he's ganking through the Twin Gates, and it ends up being a double kill for GH. That was their initial target. Big slip up here from Nemesis. Mid lane, what's going on here? Sumail. I mean, he's taken a lot of pressure, but he's fine.
Well, he died, and his tower died as well. This is a new Sumail, by the way. This is a refreshed Sumail, fresh from the fountain. He had that...
Okay, I thought he was fine.
He had that very sweet fountain juice back into his body to bring him back alive, because they took his tower with Pugna rotation. Now they're taking the stacks. So yeah, a terrible rotation down bottom. By the way, I gotta admit, but they did do some pressure on the mid lane, which isn't that bad.
Yeah, I thought they were going to try for that stack, but only level 1 on the Flame Guard. Meanwhile, Jokum finds a lone Ringmaster. Nothing scarier as a support than finding a high-level Skywrath Mage just randomly on the map. You know you're not getting away from him.
This hero as well, by the way, Skywrath. Back in the day, pre-TI, no one was playing him, right? Like, absolutely no one. And then Crit shows up, and he's like, yeah, guys, why don't you just max out Arcane Bolt every single game? It doesn't matter if you're playing versus a Puck or a Storm or whatever. Back in the day, this hero was, okay, do I max out Ancient Seal? Do I max out Arcane Bolt? There was some, like, you know, you needed 2 synapses and 3 neurons to figure it out. Right now, you don't need anything. Just max out the Bolt.
Yeah, just follow a Immortal Faith or like Porter Delaney guy. You don't need to think so much, you know what I'm saying? Just hit the recommended skill build.
That's it.
It's gonna work out. Analog here in the bot lane tried for a gank. It's not really panning out so nicely for him, but TA2000 not going to keep on chasing. Not sure what lurks beyond the tree line. They have not been able to slow this Alchemist down at all. That is going to start becoming a concern. They were trying to steal away the stacks. They did a little bit, but not exactly. Still quite a few creeps waiting for him there. I mean, is this a problem for Nemesis? Do they have to be playing faster?
I mean, you highlighted the two carries in the pre-match highlight video, right? And Alchemist is doing fine, but so is Gyro. Like, when you look at the CS, so far he's doing fine. Let's see. Omar is trying to get him solo.
Ooh, the Sunstrike. What a setup there from the Ringmaster. It shows on. Sunstrike and fire from the sky. That's a rough one. 23 just getting caught completely off guard. Meanwhile, bot lane, bit of action there. Analog still trying to do something down here, but they just... This bot lane tier 1 tower has just been an impenetrable fortress. The partner should be able to finally blast it down in a little bit, but he's just run out of mana, so he can't even get that last hit.
Yeah, he needs the mana, and the tower should fall. The walls will get penetrated eventually, so yeah, gets denied. Alchemist, you know what's really cool about this hero in this particular game? I like Alchemist, I like DK into Axe as well. Like, these heroes that have just like built-in insane regen. Alchemist, of course, needs level 6, but still, once you get it, Battle Hunger is not a non-issue anymore, and Axe cannot bully you out. So it's always nice to see.
Yeah. It's always scary when your carry has to retreat to the inner parts of his jungle just because you're at threat from the offlaner. Big smoke move here though. Trio from Nemesis trying to invade the triangle, but there's a pine cone right in front of them blocking the way. Noob is there as well, and these just are not targets that you can easily burst through, especially without the level 6 of Jokum. He's still lacking that by half a level, and you can see them think twice about it. It's not looking too prospective. Try for Noob.
They're trying.
Is it going to amp enough magic damage? There's the escape act, like we talked about, and Noob barely a scratch. Half HP, it was never gonna die there.
Yeah, and the only one charge that he had on the urn is wasted, so he will not have the vessel to work with next. By the way, Sumail did go for Dominator. I was honestly thinking if this is gonna be the play, I was thinking about it as a meme more than anything else, but he did go for the BZM play, I guess. Tundra, they were the first one that started this, but it's nice. I mean, what does Invoker lack? Besides the 4 spirits, you can't really play the map. Axe?
Being chased down by tier 2000. Again, it's the Alchemist, the one putting the pressure on the opposing offlaner. Not exactly what you want to see at this stage in the game, Japs. He's just finished up his Helm Dom as well, so we're going to see a bit of summoned units roaming around the map, try to put on pressure. Still a bit more fun for him before his next item, for sure. Top lane. Yeah.
They're taking objectives, right? Like, that's something that Axe... Oh, Jakiro, by the way, in the triangle.
What's he doing there? And tries for the setup onto Jabs. The Sunstrike will find it. I mean, you take that sacrifice any day of the week. A GH is going to be smiling about that.
No, absolutely. It was a smart play. Sky actually blocks the Axe, body blocks him a little bit, which makes that Sunstrike connect. Unfortunate, of course, but they did get the Jakiro at least. So how do you rate...
I just feel like, I don't know about you, Elizabeth. I'm on Nemesis right now. Yes, I'm getting some towers. Yes, I'm somewhat progressing the map, but then all these little kills that are happening, my cores dying randomly, it just really doesn't feel very good. They'll finally try and get themselves something on Omar, but they don't even have the mana pool to finish the job.
Yep. Considering how much they got with the gyro in the opener of this game, I feel like some of these moves were redundant. So I agree with you. Like, they could have gotten more. Not only the towers, I feel like they could have maybe been a bit more oppressive on the map.
Yeah, you got a Spirit Vessel with 0 charges in it, and you got an Axe with a Helm Dom, so I'm not really sure what exactly you can get done. The Gyro tried to make 1 or 2 moves, ends up going down, and then also just gets found casually by a support in the jungle. And it almost feels like Nemesis, they've been roaming this, patrolling this river area for a little bit, not found a thing. Might try for another smoke with the 3 of them again, but 33, not 33, sorry, the Axe as well as 23. 10 numbers down, not 33, 23.
He's got the Dominator, you're forgiven.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I'm getting it all mixed up, but yeah, 23, and I think Jabs, they're just gonna want to be farming, right? It doesn't seem like they're too keen on getting involved anytime soon.
No, absolutely.
I
By
say
the way,
that.
I mean, if you say that and they smoke, but look at the item that Axe is queued up. It's got 4 staff on
What
Axe.
the- Okay. Well, we'll see what he's cooking here. Maybe it's just to dodge away from the mass amount of AoE teamfight that they have. Noob's gonna get spotted. Noob's gonna get fully focused down. You got a box. Absolutely, Omar. Very, very nice stuff. Uses the whoopee cushion from over the tree line and bails his buddy out. Just like that. A 4-man rotation from Nemesis. Smoking through the triangle finds them nothing other than a Wisdom Shrine. Not too bad.
Yeah, you see, like, this is the one thing that is bothering me. A lot of these moves that they're doing are more or less bound to fail. Like, you're going on a Timber under a tier 2. It's like the most difficult kill that you can make on the map, but okay, they, like you said, they get the Wisdom Shrine, they take that part of the map, they ward it up a little bit. It's not terrible. Axe with the Dominator creep has been doing a pretty good job at creep skipping and bringing himself some extra waves, so he's finding farm.
Just wonder whether it's enough. I mean, the longer the game goes, the more Nigma Galaxy have time to farm up on these greedy cores. And even though, oh, Sunstrike, stun, Jokum's dead. And Analog should be able to just walk this one off. But I just want to say, because I almost missed it, it seems like a good play because at least they got the Wisdom Shrine, but GH very heads up, making his way all the way to the bot side.
Yep.
And it ends up being even, right? So it's not even like they gained a necessarily big advantage.
Yeah, he took their shrine, absolutely. No, I absolutely think that Nigma are in a good spot right now. It's only 1k advantage, but I think this Alchemist can be a problem very soon. Ember mid. This is a hard kill to make as well.
Yeah, nice little slide, dodging out most of everything there. It's an attempt there from Nigma Galaxy. It's just different, right? Because when I see Nemesis try for a gank and it doesn't work out, I'm like, okay, they had to commit so much time that they aren't really scaling up and progressing their game plan. When I see Nigma Galaxy fail a gank, I'm like, there's still an Alchemist engine running. There's still Midas on the Invoker, you know? This Timber's getting everything that he wants. It kind of goes back to that thing that you were saying where in professional Dota, most of the time the tempo matters, and that's not something Nemesis have on their side right now. Things have slowed down and the Nigma Galaxy cores are just chilling.
Yep, absolutely. I 100% agree. I'm looking at the Axe with the Force as well, and I'm just waiting to see what it does. Like, I have to admit, I absolutely love this item on Axe, and I absolutely never buy it. Because, like, it's like you want to blink in and force yourself out, you know? Because this is a hero that basically, like Slardar of the old days, you know, olden days, where you blink in, you initiate, you get out, you blink in again. Like, another Sunstrike, of course. It's so simple for them to get these kills.
Yeah, it's just so crazy because looking at the 5 heroes on each side, I think I'd be inclined to agree with you that Nemesis, the kills should be easily flowing their way, right? One call, one slight chains, it should be enough along with the Skyref, but instead it's Nigma Galaxy the ones who are making this happen. Noob being caught out, but again you have Omar right around the sidelines, ready to box him if needed, still holding on to it till the very last moment. There you go, dodging away, Wheel of Wonder, hypnotizing them all in. They still find the Timbersaw, not too bad, but Sumail now with a huge meteor will be cushioned down to the low ground, still ticking out. The homing missile will be able to finish off the kill. You can't whip that one, bad boy. Jabs with a double, so it ends up being decent for Nemesis, but they lose their mid again.
I love the attempt, though, to whip the rockets. You never know.
Right? He's like, no, please get away from me.
Maybe the patch happened, you know, it's not only the items that we got, maybe something changed. You know what?
Interaction added.
Exactly. You
they should just
miss
start doing
100%.
That. It'd actually be hilarious if they just started adding a random secret interaction every patch.
That's what they've been doing for most of my life. Every time.
For years, right? You just find something out, you're like, what the hell? Since when did this work this way? And Shakiro in the bot lane being caught out. Press the Ice Path, Macropire jabs away, but this is kind of more like the Nemesis that we were expecting, right? Being able to move around the map, find these pickoffs. It looks simple now that it's actually happening, but they've been struggling to do it so far.
Yeah, the Vessel charges definitely help as well. As long as they can make this combo happen between the Axe and the Ember, I think that they can get some kills. Like, it's a lot of spell amp as well from the Skyrats, so they can even take down the Alchemist if they find him now with the Vessel charges. I think, honestly, wasting that first Urn charge did hurt them quite a bit. Axe is sitting on a lot of gold, so he's going for pipe. Yeah, this is basically what you expect. Once you see the Force Staff, you kind of expect him to be full utility afterwards. Which isn't that bad. Pipe is good.
I think Jabs, he played the Axe yesterday, as he might have to hold that thought. Looks like there's a bit of a setup. Ice Path into the stun. Sunstrike as well. Quite a bit of damage onto Analog, but with the Pugna behind you, you're not really under any real threat. Not without any more heroes, that's for sure. But yeah, yesterday, Jabs was also playing the Axe. I think he only got his Blink like 3rd or 4th item because he was getting auras for the team. He was kind of playing that more utility style, so not really something foreign to him. Nigma Galaxy look like they still want to try for a fight though. The Chemical Rage popped and he's going to stun himself. Bit of mind games going on here in the bot lane.
And maybe you want to prevent the Pugna from just taking the tower on his own, right? So there's a 20-minute mark, of course, and Twin Gate is where they're heading towards the top lane. Noob is already there. They have Sunstrike to contest it at least, but let's see who gets the Tormy.
No scans available for either team though, so they gotta be a bit worried that they're going in completely blind. It's like 23 will connect, and Homa, rough place, rough time. 4 staffs forward to find the call. I don't even know whether he needed a 4 staff there, he just did it for the style points. There you go. D-Ward, wait for the Tommy to come up, and with 23 walking over, it should be easy, but they're a bit concerned now because they haven't seen Nigma on the map in a little bit. Looks like it's going to be a battle for the Tom.
Yeah, they're smoking up, but it's really smart from Nemesis to not go into Tormentor taking just yet. They're expecting the fight.
Here we go. BKB not done just yet on TA 2000, but it's time to fight. There's no way out of this one. Still trying to hold this back position. Ringmaster is slowly joining his team. The more time they give Nigma, the more of their team they'll be able to assemble. I'll take this high ground now. Analog just poking and prodding the wave. Just random dust. Just maybe thinking the Invoker was Ghost Walk behind them. Cold feet on both sides here.
They don't have the pipe yet, so they smoke up instead. They want to perhaps engage on their own terms. If you find the Invoker, of course, kill him off first. That would be amazing. Or the Ringmaster now, that he has rejoined his team.
You gotta watch out for that Gleipnir though, freshly picked up from Sumail. They can just lock all of them up and they won't really have any options to get out. Not a single Dispel available on this team so far. Skyref, all he has is a Meteor Hammer, of all things. Somehow Nigma kind of play Ring Around the Rosie and they come out the winners of that one, get the Tormentor into the GH and immediately try and evacuate. And, I mean, with where Analog is positioned, they should have an idea where Nemesis is. They just dodged that fight completely and snag it for themselves.
I honestly think they... Oh, of course, they lost a lot of resources. Your Omar is on 50% HP. You don't want to take that fight, but considering Alchemist just got his BKB delivered, maybe they could have even fought. This is, of course, the more disciplined route. Go back, refresh, get your ultis back up, go again.
Concern starting to mount here on behalf of Nemesis. I feel like they're hesitant to try and take a fight. It's only going to get harder as the game goes on, sure. 23 is scaling very well. He's beating out the Alt in terms of raw CS, and he's just kind of keeping up with the net worth despite the Greevil's greed. A very good look for the Gyrocopter. He will have his BKB coming out to him in just about 300 gold, and that's probably when we look to see Nemesis fight.
Yeah, they're keeping up. And they have the tools as well. They need a BKB on Ember perhaps as well. Like, that's one big item that could help them. Because Ember in this state, yeah, sure, like you mentioned, they don't have a lot of dispels. They have a Glimmer and that's it. But if he gets caught in Wheel of Wonders, like, he can still die.
Yeah, Analog's net worth has not really kept up with the rest of the core. Sure, it's just maybe a
Okay.
1,000, 2,000 lead. Gonna try for setup onto jabs. In comes the blink, macro pyre, sunstrike, all the fire in the wall. Trying to burn up this axe, but he has that fresh pipe. Should be able to walk this one off just barely. Good try there from TA2000 and GH.
Rocket, though, it's following the Jakiro.
Are they still trying to chase this on Nemesis? Looks like they're gunning for a fight, but TA2000, he's daring any of them to chase. And a log right around the tree line, he's gonna end up stunning himself. Nice ice path onto 2, but that's just delaying the inevitable. Looks like Analog really wants blood, but I'm not really sure whether this is what
Gyro?
you want at 23. Having to pop the BKB Wheel of Wonder, being saved by the partner as well. This fight has just gotten messy. They clean up the backline on Jokum with Sumail, but they're losing figures up in front. Noob now, without any HP, a last little Timber Chain, but the chase is on. The chains are there, and Noob, he's not going anywhere. Dunk for jabs, double kill for the axe, and even though they lose that Skywrath Mage, a big fight win for Nemesis.
Did you see what happened? Did you see how absolutely ridiculously, I mean, lucky or cool or whatever you want to call it, it was for 23? Because basically, they were going on Jakiro, right? Alchemist thought about going in, but he didn't stun the first time. He stunned himself,
Yeah.
right? Look at the courier. Flies in BKB. That's the BKB.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't have it. That's literally the only reason they chose to fight. It's because Gyro didn't have a BKB, and he's kind of out of position. But once he gets the BKB, then you realize you're the ones out of position. Like, absolutely insane. A millisecond, basically. If he got that BKB earlier, they wouldn't engage. They wouldn't go on.
23 looked like he was putting himself in a very dangerous spot, but he had that backup of the courier, and the BKB timing could not come any sooner. Exactly when he needed it. That's gonna net them the Roche and put Nemesis back on track for the tempo that they wanted to pick up this game. Just for your Gyro. Now you can start threatening some of these outer tier 2 towers. All according to plan. I'm not really sure where Jokum was, though, to be honest. I saw that he died off-screen and must have just been trying to push out the mid-wave and got caught by the Invoker. And Sumail's been having an excellent game for himself, too. I mean, his net worth is looking great. Getting towards that Aghanim Scepter after the Gleipnir now. Just trying to figure out whether it's going to be enough. And 3k gold lead. It's not the most, but I mean, I guess this is a typical Alchemist lineup, right? It's, you know, you're always going to have that little piddle gold lead just off of Grievel's Greed. The rest of your team's also keeping up, especially since the opponent team just took the Aegis. I think this is still a pretty good look for Nigma. It's not even that they messed up or something in that fight. It was just really the Gyro BKB timing that caught them completely off guard. But
Yep.
that enough was... I mean, now Nemesis are the ones with a slight advantage on the map.
Absolutely. Sometimes that's all it takes. Like, you can play the perfect game. You can have all the right moves, but that one was absolutely costly. And yeah, we'll see if they will be able to claw themselves back in, because like you said, it's a 3k lead, but it's an Alchemist 3k lead. So basically this game is, I wouldn't even say even, I would say maybe it's a slight advantage network-wise for Dire. Bot lane.
Bit of a catch here onto the Jakiro. He's really, really deep all by himself. Not much that Sumail can do to help him out. Could just be another dunk.
Mid
Oh,
now?
not even gonna let Analog. That was a bit cruel. 23 with the Aegis though, he knows that he's basically untouchable. They need the full force to bring him down, especially if the Pugma backing him up. Start using these Meteor Hammers, start pushing towards the towers. The rest of the team gonna connect as well.
I love the meme hammer on Skyrat, by the way. It's not even the active, honestly. It's just such a cheap upgrade from Kaya. Like, you want to get Kaya no matter what, like 90% of the games. And then you're given an option, like, what do you upgrade it into? And Meteor Hammer is just like, oh, whatever, I'm gonna kill some towers as well. It's not bad.
Yeah. Is there any reason why you'd get this over the stats though? Because I guess your concern is that none of your 3 cores really hit towers that well. Is that what it's about?
I mean, you have Pugna. Like, I really don't think that they need...
Yeah, that's what I
all
was thinking too.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of Skywraths go for like the higher Sanj, actually, if they have the net worth.
It's a if they have the net worth, exactly. Like, it's a bit more expensive, a bit harder to get. So for me, I don't know.
Oh, no.
I think it's like a no-brainer.
A GH looks like he's gonna get caught again. Turn around with an ice path, try for the TP out. You got a slight chains, analog. Not gonna try for it. thinks that maybe the Jakiro had continued running. But this is what the Aegis gives you, all the outer tier 2 towers. The only last one standing is in the top lane, and right now Nemesis are feeling confident enough to head up to this high ground. Key items on the gyro, Daedalus just completed. Jabs with the pipe as well, with almost the Lotus Ult coming out. Not sure whether they can push into a macro pyre though, that's a bit scary.
Yeah, the high ground defense shouldn't be that hard for Nigma, I would say, but I'm not sure. Let's see. This gyro is pretty damn big. He's about to complete Satanic as well.
It's just annoying because, yeah, you walk up the high ground, you eat like Ice Path, Chakrams. I mean, he's almost there. Nice Fall Staff there with the heal from the Pugna. Gonna keep 23 topped up. Here comes the Sunstrike. Cataclysm takes out the first life. Now the gyro in a bit of an awkward spot, but the rest of the team ready to back him up. But Spirit's gonna come through. Gyro in trouble. He needs help. He needs a Fall Staff. He needs something. 23 just goes down and tier 2000 into the backlines. Swipes down the Skyref mate, forcing the Ember away. And Naman is going to drop as well. Nemesis not respecting the high ground defense of Nigma. And TA 2000 swipes them all up.
And this is like one thing that you don't really want to do once you get a good fight in an Aegis. Generally, you want to choke them out, take the map, finish that one item. Like I said, he was not too far away from Satanic. He had the Reaver already. They could have taken it a bit slow, like a little bit more disciplined, I should say. They could have used the BKB perhaps on Gyro as well. I believe he was met with an Ice Path after the Aegis, right? But
yeah,
I think there was a millisecond.
Yep. First life and GH right there with the setup, right on time. He never had a chance. Being pushed in, immediate Will of Wonder, Hypnotize, and unfortunately the Axe using that Force Staff a bit earlier. Look at how fast TA 2000 takes down these supports. It's easy for him once he can get his blades on him. And from there, Nemesis, they just have to evacuate. We couldn't really see an Axe call in to the base to try and bail him out as well, right? I feel like usually in situations like that, you're looking for that counter initiation from the Nemesis backup. Yeah, it just never could happen.
He was queuing up the Lotus, which he now has, right? Like he has completed it, but if he had the blink, like you said, maybe he would be able to slow them down a little bit. Like you can't force yourself through the Wheel of Wonder, unfortunately.
No, you can't.
And you can't really force him out of it as well. Not successfully, at least. Nothing would have changed. He'd still die. So. Yeah,
I honestly don't even know if the Satanic saves him there. Because I'm thinking in my mind, even if he does have the Satanic, it was just really well executed, right, from Nigma Galaxy. Yep. They completely chain stunned him up. I feel like your only option is for the Ember to BKB in and disrupt it, or maybe even a BKB from Jabs. Because you're talking about Lotus, you're talking about Blink. Almost feels like this Axe needs like 2 or 3 more items, and he already has 4. It's like, do you really need to wait until that later portion of the game before you're ready to fight?
They got to this place where they're at partly because of the items that he had. If you remember, they went on Axe a couple of times. He had that pipe. He saves himself. Then they managed to chase them down bottom. They get a couple of kills. It's like we are diverging into a different timeline where, yeah, I don't know what could have happened. These items aren't that bad. Sure, they have their cons at the moment, but once he gets the blink, maybe things will look a little bit better again. But
I mean, I'm just starting to feel like this is a BKB mandatory game, right? Like you're not touching that tower unless you got a BKB.
This is perhaps not a go high ground when everyone is alive kind of a game, which is more or less every single game of Dota. So
that's true.
Maybe I would focus on the strategical discipline than on like a particular item. I hate. You know, like
I see what you mean. I see what you're saying. I can agree with that. Maybe it's a classic. You know, it's easy to point at one particular thing, but there's a bigger problem at hand, which is maybe like what you were saying. Nemesis should have controlled the map instead of trying to run into 5 Nigma Galaxy heroes with all their items ready.
Yep. Shout out to Snit. By the way, I see that he still likes all chatting. That was his deal long time ago.
This is the guy with the Chen, right? Like every game he would be like, hey, this is my 10,500 game of Chen. I will buy all the smoke and the wood. I think he's been an ESL admin forever. I feel like I see him pop up in some of these all chats sometimes when players are misbehaving.
That's like the most beautiful thing about this game. Like, you meet so many...
Oh,
top lane.
Analog! We ain't meeting him. They say, welcome to Nigma, the Nigma Galaxy experience.
Pretty much.
That was painful stuff. What the hell? It just completely obliterated him. No save available for Nemesis. And now Jokum, he can't even move. A TA2000 gonna get called up. He has that BKB, a nice little 4-stop away. But TA2000, he's a bit too big and bad for them to fight into right now. 23 will try and put the damage on him. Way too tanky of a target. Now with Blink and the Atos to disengage. Very nicely done. GH will even blink over to kill off that homing missile.
Yeah, the double hit coming in handy, of course. Has to be careful himself. Gyro is still around. But yeah, quick 2 kills for them. They don't lose anything. 10k advantage now. And this is where Invoker becomes really difficult to play against, right? Like, he gets a lot of items. He gets his Octarine. Like, he can shove out multiple lanes at the same time because of travels. He's everywhere. You'd never see him. This is, you know, a painful game to play now if you're Nemesis.
Yeah, I'd agree. Sumail, I mean, he's been playing just a Dream Invoker game, right? Not anything super flashy, super crazy, but he's just throwing out these spells, making it almost impossible for Nemesis to play the map. Now 3 Forge Spirits. He's constantly pushing out the waves with his Helm Dom as well. And I think the most impressive thing for me this game is the fact that he's only died twice, right? I feel like in the fights, you barely see him making any contact with the opponent players. He's just always in a good position, making sure he's getting his spells off, retreating when necessary, kiting as well.
Yeah, it's partly due to him, of course, and his positioning, but it's also partly due to Timbersaw, Noob, and his positioning. Like, he's been frontlining together with Alchemist. It makes... This is basically what we talked about during the draft, right? Like, Invoker works because of these other 2 cores that he's got.
Yeah.
Nice smoke, though. It's broken.
What a concoction being wound up. TA2000 gonna end up stunning himself here a little bit. Once again,
Bot lane, though.
just the dancing around this area. Yeah, bot lane's being pushed in. This is making it very awkward for Nemesis. They need to try and strike, but the ward being placed down gets spotted out. They will get the Tormentor for themselves, but look at Nigma Galaxy ready to pounce. Analog in some trouble. Where's the stun? TA2000 bit late. 23 in trouble. In comes the Cataclysm. They can't stop him away,
Satanic.
but still the BKB is there and the call. Satanic is back up to full HP, and now Noob is the one who has the retreat. Analog now with the BKB chasing out onto the Timbersaw. He doesn't survive that one. And Nemesis with a much needed fight win. They're able to stand their ground, and this time round, Nigma Galaxy, the initiation wasn't completely on point, and the Gyro is able to fight.
They do take down a tower, by the way, down bottom, because of it. So it's not like... It's still pretty damn good for Nemesis, of course. They do lose tier 3 down bottom. And this is also one thing that I was wondering, like, I saw Invoker TPing, like, they really wanted to force this fight. But they had other options. I think that they could have just ratted and poked them a little bit, prevented them from TPing. Maybe Invoker could have even taken a side. I mean, you know, like, if they soft commit, if they don't fully commit, but they went all in.
Yeah. I think Nigma Galaxy, through that fight, they're probably realizing that they need the Alchemist to be on top of Gyro, especially if his BKB is up. They don't really kill him through it. There's no way. They need to full control. If the BKB comes out, it's time to kite, or if they can't send Alchemist in, then it's time to chill a little bit.
I think he also needs, like, the Basher, right? Like, he went for the Nullifier. Of course, you need it. You're playing into Pugna. At the same time, like, you need the Basher. What you're saying is, I want my Alchemist to be on top of Gyro, but my Alchemist cannot be on top of Gyro unless he has him stun locked, which he cannot through Afterburner, through BKB. It's just not gonna happen. So once he gets this Basher, maybe things change.
I just want to point out as well, we rarely ever see this item picked up, but GD Pollen Bag being selected by both Jabs and Analog, they understand just how much it is influential against a hero like Alchemist, and that definitely plays a part into heroes like Timbersaw as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, into Timber, into Alk, they're all about the region. You have a Vessel, you have GD, not too bad. Nice positioning by Nemesis, though.
Yeah, they'll try and hold this high ground. Try and fight for the Roche, but it's a huge wraparound from Nigma Galaxy. Just yesterday, Nemesis got caught out by this move from their opponents on Amaru. They're not gonna fall for it a second time.
35 wisdom. Is my math correct?
Yeah, absolutely. We are. It's not even math. It's like right on your screen. Okay, I guess you're making multiples of 7, right? That's kind of what you're talking about.
Yeah. That is it on my screen? Does it say? I mean, I'm not watching the feed.
Only
I'm in
if
the
you
lobby.
alter. Yeah. Like only if you press alternate, then it shows all the timings for the lotuses and stuff, right? Does it do that
Okay.
if you're not in the game? I know that it does if you're like actually playing. Yeah, shows the timings.
It does. Damn, you learn something new every day. But only when you're observing, of course. So.
Not when you're playing games of Dota. You don't learn shit.
Yeah. Well, you learn the hard way.
Roshan now in the top pit. Sort of, I want to say this position probably favors Nigma Galaxy a little bit more. Just because, yes, you hold that high ground ward that Nemesis have up, but it's so much more convenient to reconnect into the fight from the Radiant position.
They can just put the gyro like they're doing right now. At the same time, there's a lot of poke from distance from Nigma, so let's see. They smoke up. They just baited out the roar.
I mean, Nigma don't see anybody inside the pit now, and I'm not sure whether they spotted out that arcane rune being taken, but the fact that no one's in there poking at the Roche tells you that they're up to something.
They see the...
Jab is... Yeah, they see the creep.
They see the Warpine Raider, yeah, that's it.
Some very unfortunate pauses this game, I have to say. Like the first minute pause with the ward and everything, sure, Sumail does end up going down, but you know, it could have very much happened a lot smoother.
Is Clement's face also appearing on your screen and smiling? Or no?
I'm sure you've kept that, Lizard. He's the new coach of Paravision now, so I think he will very quickly be smiling at all of us when he wins a couple of these lands.
I don't know. I just want to see that guy playing Dota forever. I don't want to see him coaching. I mean, all the legends are becoming coaches now. Like he was the one last remaining.
I mean, you still got Fly. You still got Fly.
That's
would
true.
you not consider Fly as up there? I would put him up there. He's such a. I think he's like the definition of veteran Dota player.
Yeah. I'd put Fly up there as well for sure.
Up on the high ground, getting called out. Too much magic damage, but the bot is there. Omar will pay the price of his life for it. Coming back out to a perfectly timed medium. Are you serious? And blown up is the Timbersaw. Now onto TA2000. Things falling apart quickly here for Nigma Galaxy. They were not ready for that smoke move. Maybe the pause kind of left them off guard a bit, but just because of that, Nemesis able to push right through, and now they're headed to the Roche for themselves.
And Walker will try to delay it a little bit, but without the Ringmaster, without the Timber, I don't think that's possible. It should be another Roche for the Gyrant squad. Pretty good initiation. Ringmaster just died through what, like some collateral damage?
They just looked at it with analog. Sunstrike coming in. That's a huge cataclysm. Still should allow 23 to get that Aegis though, and GH tried to be a little bit cute, gets called out by Jabs, and this was the exact same situation that won Nemesis their one game against Amaru yesterday. It was that Jabs axe. I don't know how much you've watched Jabs, I don't know how much you watched Southeast Asia Dota, Lizard, but I've been watching Jabs for a long time as a Southeast Asia Dota fan myself, and the one thing about this guy is if he wins a game on a certain pick, he will do it again. He will find any reason to run it back, and this is exactly what happened yesterday. He's kind of making a repeat performance. He's got to be feeling good.
I think there isn't a single Dota player, right, that hasn't been watching this guy for a long time. He's
that's true.
Dinosaur at this point, yeah. And for me, of course, one of higher skilled SEA players. Like there's a couple of them that I hold to a pretty high regard. And he's definitely one of them.
Yeah, he has his ups, he has his downs. A lot more downs recently than ups for sure. But when he comes through, you're just like, wow, this guy, you know, maybe he can do something. And then the very next moment, he lets you down big time. That's the Jabs experience.
It's like Jabs for me. It's like a couple of, for me, those guys that came up during Singapore Major in like 2020, you know. I believe it was Yopaj back then, and Mikoto, and these kind of players. Like there was just so much potential in SCA. I expected more. I expected, like my prognosis was that SCA is gonna take over eventually. Didn't unfortunately happen. I think the mobile games ruined you guys. They took too much talent away.
They released Mobile Legends and everybody was like, ooh, look at that. As it was over. Nobody wants to play Dota anymore. Well, we still got these guys trying to kick it out for Nemesis. I think an organization that's been around for 1.5 years at this point. I think they really impressed everybody with that crazy TI attendance. But since then, it's been quite difficult for them to find opportunities through these close qualifiers, through these regional qualifiers. I think this is a new face, a new look, even though it features older players, and maybe this is what can power them through to the next stage.
Oh,
I have to see.
He just completed Hex as well. He doesn't have a buyback. Gotta be careful. This was a nice setup, by the way, from Jabs, because he had the sentries on high ground.
He's gonna get the catch. Find you under a ward. Sumail, he doesn't have buyback like you mentioned, and he doesn't have any defensive items. He's relied on his positioning this entire game, and this one instance he gets caught out. This could be a very difficult situation for Nigma Galaxy if Nemesis choose to push the issue right now.
Yeah, you got a creep skip. GH with Jakiro, I think he has to maybe sacrifice himself. He has the buyback, so just go. Unfortunately,
like
mid lane.
Macro wave or some shit, right?
Yeah, he's doing it top. Unfortunately, mid lane is pushing as well. So they won't be able to prevent both. And there's a Swift Link on Gyro.
Got the banner as well. So that whip, preemptive. Oh my goodness, get the hell out of there, brother! You're taking way too much damage. Black Cannon, does it finish him off? It does, are you serious? Meanwhile, Tier 2000 did jump in, managing to eliminate Jokum on the left side. The Skyriff Mage caught lacking a little bit multiple times this game. Very hard for him to play. There's the buyback from Jokum. Not Jokum, sorry. That's
Omar.
Omar.
Yeah. They kind of died the same way, I feel like. This should still be the side. Do they have a glyph? They used it, of course, so no glyph for them. It's
still
just
that BKB and the Satanic back up. It's tough. Time for a wraparound. T2000.
Walker is still dead.
7 more seconds. Is this really the jump they want to make? Nemesis won't fall for it. Sensing something is amiss. They haven't seen the Alchemist in a bit too long. They'll back up.
It was a really cool play if Invoker resurrected like maybe 5 seconds earlier, because then you could actually kill him. Why? Because Satanic was used. So you could actually go on the Gyro. And even through BKB, I think they had the damage. At least they haven't
skip there with the acid spray. Doesn't work out, and now the smoke. Trying to use the last 30 seconds of this Aegis. A big Aegis power play so far for Nemesis. 6k difference gained. And of course, the big thing being the racks. Are they gonna try and make it a second one, even with the Aegis expiring? They're gonna push the issue.
There's no buyback on a couple of these heroes.
Paul, Cataclysm. Gyro in a little bit of trouble, still should be able to turn around. Noob in with the damage, my goodness, Jokum just absolutely melting out. Jabs in jeopardy as well. Losing the first life now on the Gyro. T2000 was able to get on top of him.
Analog.
And Analog in the backline being controlled. This Ember is dusted. Noob was able to swipe them all down, and the BKB TP, things got way too messy for Nemesis, way too quick. They will fall on that high ground without their Aegis, perhaps a bit too ambitious.
I mean, the first movie was bad. I don't know why they made a sequel. It was literally the same thing that happened, right? Like they failed with the first stages that they had. They had full advantage, and now they do the same thing. Like literally the same thing. No difference. Gyro on high ground. Like backline is being destroyed by Noob. Frontline being destroyed as well. Once again, they just
I don't know how Noob just caught them off guard completely. Look at that slide through, just eliminates the Skywrath, brings the axe so far down that even though he does pop the BKB, it doesn't even matter anymore. The fight's so split up.
Yeah, rough. Like I truly believe that they had they're still in a decent spot, by the way. It's not like this game just completely fell apart for them, but they had a really good advantage. I would say that they even had some winning moments there, that like plays that could win. Ringmaster had no buyback, Invoker had no buyback. Like if you manage to catch those, sure, but the initiation on anyone else but the Ringmaster by Axe, I feel like is bound to fail at that point, especially on high ground. Like one little escape act and your teamfight is kinda in a pretty bad spot.
Yeah, I mean, you look back to how Nemesis succeeded in the mid lane push, right? They didn't force any issues. They were just up there with the gyro, just kind of shooting down the racks. And then in the bot lane, like you mentioned, the sequel that nobody asked for. Why are you jumping in like that? I mean, Jabs, he does bait out a couple of reactions, but they just weren't prepared for Nigma Galaxy to jump them back.
The difference between the mid lane push and the bot lane push is there was no Invoker during the mid lane push. He was dead, right? Like you got the pick off and then you forced it. Bot lane, however, they had everyone. They had a Cataclysm.
The classic, still trying to push high ground even though the entire enemy team is alive. This is seeming to be the lesson that Nemesis have yet to learn. Maybe third time's the charm. Maybe on the third time around, they will realize they need to burst someone down quickly. Outside the base, preferably. If not, you're just going to be in shambles. Cataclysm to scout. Doesn't get them any good enough info for them to jump, though. 23, he'll make the advance. Spotting out Noob, but again, not really the target you can afford to focus down first, especially not with Omar so close behind him.
Yeah, he's queued up a Rapier, by the way, on Gyro. I feel like at this point, it's a cool item, but like, it's not truly about the damage. Like, they have the damage. Like, he's destroying them if he can get the positioning and the lockdown. It's all about initiation.
I don't know if you saw that, but speaking of initiation, BKB lost from Noob. His courier got killed by the axe. He's not going to have that available. That is a very, very big deal.
Absolutely, for 3 minutes at this point.
Yikes.
That's a huge delay right there. It's basically rush timer, right? Like, he's not going to have the BKB for this next rush. It's respawn.
Quick check. The Gyro has reached that level 25, so Flat Cannon cooldown, but so has the Timber. So extremely long Timber chains, Invoker with the Radio Deafening Blast as well, and soon to be joined by the Alchemist. 50 Chemical Rage movement speed. So he's going to be trucking real quick. He's actually making a move towards the top lane. That's where Nigma Galaxy are positioned. They're trying to force some sort of a reaction, trying to bring Nemesis back to the base to defend.
Yeah, what's really cool about their draft, of course, is that they don't need to show anyone to do this. All you need are the Fort Spirits. However, Roshan is up. So
Ross gotta give it away though. I'm just gonna come back in, maybe throw a Chakram or two. Again, as easy as it is for Nigma Galaxy to just push the high ground without any real commitment, they can also just send some Helm Dom creep, some Forge Spirits into the pit, get them that information. Battle of the Wards now. 23 will show himself. Play out that sentry, perhaps. There you go. Ward on the high ground. Someone's got to go grab that one. Noob would be the first one in. Tornado removing the shield rune. Poking with all these spells, the Impalement Arts, the Fire Spirits. Just so many little annoying things coming out from both sides. Gonna hold the high ground. Call down is there. Noob is completely fine though, BKB or not.
They need to... I still believe that they need to find the right initiation. Like, just doing this might be a bit of a problem, but so far, hey, Rosh is on 50%. Maybe this is the play.
They can just sneak it away. Yeah. EA2000 gonna get spotted out. Not sure whether he was seen by the ward there. They'll definitely spot him now. And Rosh roaring again. It's not at risk of moving, but Noob in a very prime position to try and cause some chaos. This is so tense. This fight could decide the game here. Noob once again scouting with the Shivas. Who's gonna make that commitment? Who's going to make the jump? Who's making the call? Roach is dropping low macro fire. GH steals the Aegis! It's a hero with a second life on top of a second head. He's gonna come back. Is it going to be enough? T2000, he could not survive. Way too much damage being controlled, but same for 23. Trying to turn around the Satanic, he doesn't have it. Buyback available for the Gyro to rejoin his team if needed. Sumail now firing away with the auto attacks, but Jabs is there. Tornado to keep him at bay. Fire Spirit chased down. They don't have the vision. Slow to the crawl by the ice wall, and now Noob might be able to go to work. Chakram's coming out. The heal is there from Naman. As Analog, he's completely dry on mana. Buying back on Dokkan, that's not going to do shit for you, but you buy back on the Ember. A second salvo. Coming back in and cleaning up Nigma Galaxy. The Alchemist going down so early. They just don't have their carry. And 23's back in the fray. He's gunning for them and ready to put an end to this game. Nigma Galaxy. This feels like it was their game to lose, and I'm not sure what happened to the Alk around the Roche pit, but he disappeared.
Yeah, he just ran in, and he absolutely disappeared, like you said. He tried to man fight, didn't really manage to, even with the BKB. He just absolutely evaporated. the twin gauge, sorry, the outpost actually seemingly winning the game in the end because they had all the buybacks. The call.
Jump in now. 3v5 situation, not looking very good. Noob there with a BKB turning around, finally off of the dead courier. Cataclysm as well, 23. That's gonna be a dieback for him if he's not careful. He's down. Somehow, someway, Noob able to do it, and Sumail is still surviving. He's standing his ground with the tornado. Has he actually killed the Ember? No. Gets slighted down.
There's
it's
the Timber.
just Noob.
Let's see, can he do it?
He has to hold for 5 more seconds. TA2000's gonna be back. But on the other side, Nemesis, they need to try and put an end to this game. Noob is a big problem, and they have an even bigger one TPing in. TA2000, he's here to party, but he's taking so much damage again! TA2000, we talked about the carries being kind of a bit of a weak spot for both of these teams. And even though 23 ends up dying back, it's the supporting cast members of Nemesis that get the job done. GH alone is not going to be able to do it. All the heroics in the world saving them with that Aegis steal, but it's just not enough from the Jakiro, as Nemesis, after a very tense game number 1, will be able to take the advantage here over Nigma Galaxy. 1-0, slowly but surely this Ancient's gonna fall, as the Dragon can do nothing but watch turn into a pig. One last little clip as he's trying his damn best. You gotta give him that, but it is simply not enough. Buyback, he's going. But it is going to be GG called by the squad. Nigma Galaxy, they tap out, and they will now be 1 game away from, again, not making it very far in a
Dragonite or Death Prophet or something from the offlane that pushes. I hate seeing a Chen that is surrounded by skirmishy lineup that doesn't truly take objectives, because that usually means that Chen is kind of, at some point at least, lost. Like, what do? I can't move across the map with all my creeps 24/7. I kind of need to take a lane and push, but use my auras, perhaps a mech that he buys or something like that. So we'll see what they manage to do with Chen.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you could also go for the classic I just go jungle, right? And then you amass a whole ton of net worth, and then you're just coming out with early items that tip the balance of the skirmishers that Nigma Galaxy might be looking for. Already seeing some struggles, as much as the Chen is a quote-unquote counter to the Beastmaster. Until you get that persuasion, he's gonna have 2 balls blasting at you at all times. Pew pew, pew pew.
It's only level 1 boars, unfortunately, at least for our dear Chen here, so he'll be able to mitigate most of it. A lot of armor as well that he gets from Divine Favor just heals up as well.
You got any expectations for these lanes? Any thoughts about what were... I guess obviously the Viper already starting to eke out a bit of an advantage, but side lanes wise, feel like things are... I almost want to say Nigma Galaxy favored. Right, you got this really strong offlane duo between Omar and Noob, and then in the top lane, Pugna DK, that is a solid-ass lane.
Unless they get jabs here, even through the boots. Nice disruption.
Very last moment there for Jokum. Denying that last auto attack, lives on like what looks like 5 HP. See diving. That was very close.
Of course, like with Corrosive Skin, you get some magic resistance, but keep in mind, Diabolic Edict is pure. You still can get ran down in these early stages of the game. Nicely done by Analog so far. He's behind CS, but he's managing to lane against the Viper. That's already good.
Yeah, Sumail's actually gone for the 2 levels in the poison attack like we were somewhat discussing, right? So he's trying to right-click Analog out of the lane, going a bit maybe of his own farming. So I feel like maybe there are 2 modes. You could either just ignore Analog in the lane completely and try and play for like stacks, but then in the same vein, the Lash is probably going to do the same, right? And then he hits his timings really nicely. So still trying to contest. Analog now will be taking quite a bit of damage with the level 2 poison attack.
Yeah, I really want to see how this lane turns out, because now with the level 2 poison attack, like you said, he should be winning the lane. The thing is, like, this hero became popular not because of the... I mean, of course, the laning stage is not bad. It's a damn Viper. It's always going to be good. But he became popular because suddenly he's not only a lane dominator, but he goes into the jungle and farms it really quickly with Nether Toxin. But you need a couple of levels to farm those stacks, at least easily to farm them. It's kind
Yeah,
of
I wonder what he
sacrificing.
does as well, because Viper isn't really the fastest hero, right? So even though he is pushing the Lash away, like after he pushes the wave, then what? He like level 1 Nether Toxin is not gonna get him a camp before he needs to come back to mid, right? I think that's the point you're making.
Basically, yes. That's pretty much it. Like a poison attack will push him out, but you kind of have to play the. You have to play the lane basically constantly. You don't have the fallback option anymore.
Yeah. I mean, he's still looking good. He's playing the lane rather magnificently. 24 to 8. Just getting all the CS that he could ask for. Nice little water rune grab as well. So denying at least one from Sumail. No real action in these side lanes so far, as both teams just happy to trade a little bit here and there. The main person suffering is unsurprisingly Jabs, right? I feel like ever since that level 1 stun and he missed the first wave, he's just kind of constantly being pushed back. You can understand a little bit why he did not want to interact in this lane. It's just really difficult for him to walk up to the Pugner's constant harass.
A very big difference between game number 1 and game number 2. Game 1, he is dominating the lane. Of course, they lost it in the end, but he did fine. Like the first 7 minutes were great. Like, he found all the farm. He got 4 rings, Helm of Iron Will very quickly. This time around, it's 10 CS 5 minutes in. That's support level right there.
Not too good of a look for Mr. Jabs. Hopefully there are some stacks prepared. That's one of the powers of the Shadow Demon, right? He's already sort of started to wind that up, even sentrying the triangle relentlessly to make sure that when they do go back and farm it, there's not going to be a sneaky invader.
He's thinking about mid. He's mid lane sneaky invader, but he's gonna fall back instead.
Sumail level 6, gotta keep an eye out for that Viper Strike coming through. Could be a forced TP very quickly for Analog if he's not careful. Yeah, compared to the previous game where we were getting skirmishes, you know, we were getting action. Both these teams just take it chill for now. I think GH will now start walking over, maybe spot out the stacks, but really he's just here to make sure that the minute 6 rune does not go the way of this Lash. Both supports from Nigma Galaxy now rounding the corner. Found GH, but with the Nether Ward down, I don't think they can actually contest. In fact, they'll make it a kill onto this poor Jokum Shadow Demon. TP out, do you have the damage? Auto attack doesn't fly through enough. Nicely done.
Yeah, pretty good TP, and they're gonna get the rune as well. Hoodwink TPing in as well.
That was a little bit strange. I swear I saw Omar in that area. I thought he was just gonna grab the arcane rune. It feels a bit illegal that Analog was able to just grab that one.
Yep, Lash still not 6, he's gonna get it now, but so even though Viper did completely dominate the lane, I feel like Lash's game is still very playable. But it's, again, Lash is a very active hero, and if you even shut him down a little bit in the laning stage, and if you have a hero like Viper that can just control him, it could be a problem, and that's what I'm seeing right now. They have 2 heroes that have been completely controlled in the laning stage. It's the Lash and it's the Primal. Primal even on top, creep skipping under the tier 3 tower. Not a lot more that he can do.
Being bullied by GH, it's really difficult here. The only core on Nigma that is doing average or mid is Noob, but then you're not even that sad because they permitted a full Chen pick to try and counter you and you're still getting a decent amount of farm. Looks like the Lash has their eyes on the bot lane, trying to punish Omar. Coming through with the Diabolic Edict. Can you find the connection? A nice bushwhack and tier 2000 is TP'd in. Great rotation there from the Dragonite and punishes the Lash. He does find the Hoodwink in the end though, so ends up being a 1-for-1 trade. 4 members of Nigma Galaxy converging here, pushing back the mid laner of Nemesis.
Yeah, 1-for-1 trade after you died, so you don't get the XP, you rotated, you lost all the network that you could have gained from the mid lane. In general, that's not worth it. Not in my book.
It doesn't really fully get to use the Arcane Rune as well, but at least now, Jokum's gonna help him secure another. Now 23 in some trouble. Ball's chasing him down. Naman will try and get in the way. The Divine Favor will keep him topped up. Does lose his little Satyr creep though. Small consolation. There's still a lot of tension over here. They really want to put pressure It's not even a catapult wave or anything. They just maybe are recognizing that nobody can come and help bot at the moment. Because let's just TP mid.
Yep.
Is there anything that they can do here? Nemesis, this is just a tier 1 tower.
I think this is just a tier 1 tower and then perhaps another tier 1 tower mid. Helm of Dominator is still a pretty good timing, I would say, for Beast. Not like the best timing, but he had it in at 7-ish.
Here comes Analog. In through with the stun. Very nicely done. Jab still doesn't have that pulverize, but it will be enough damage at the very last. Are you serious? T2000, he skitters away. That is not supposed to happen. Another rotation for Analog. Just gone wrong by the nice moves from Nigma Galaxy. Oh, that has got to sting.
Very similar, by the way, to game number 1. All the rotations on the Alchemist more or less failed. It's just that this is the first one. But yeah, Lash, rotation bottom, didn't work out. Rotation top also did not work out. The laning stage was bad. 40 CS on Lash, 28 CS on Primal Beast. Together, they add up to what Viper has got. Just a little bit over it.
Yikes. I see the boost travel completed already for the Viper. Sumail is about to get active. Just getting that mana up with the clarity, and he'll have a Viper Strike ready to go, but not even needing it because Naman will just get hunted down. First use of the Raw there. Heard a Viper Strike in the mid lane, chasing down the Lash. He can't TP out of this one, barely.
Ooh.
So close, and Fountain as well had to buy a Fairy Fire just to survive. Rune does get denied by Jokum, but these early rotations, they're just going all the way of Nigma, and they have the perfect draft to further push this advantage.
I really don't see this train stopping anytime soon. It's like, you can... Currently, the map is theirs to play. Lash is the majority of the damage from Radiant. Shadow Demon
now being slowed down. Yeah, Shadow Demon, he's just surrounded on all sides. Nowhere to go. Another kill there for Sumail as he is ramping up on this Viper. Analog will find Oma trying to invade the triangle though. The support from GH couldn't come through in time. Nice little bit of a pincer maneuver, I want to say, from Nemesis to at least get something for their trouble.
Yeah, the triangle was already taken, right? Like the hard camp Lash took it, so nothing to lose there. The Ancients will not be contested for now. Pretty cool game for Viper Travels, by the way, because you have the Beastmaster to play around with. You can always TP on the boards.
Low mana on Noob is the only thing stopping him from porting in there, probably. If not, it would have been a very easy 23 kill. Look at Nemesis on the prowl now, still undeterred, still trying to find moves with Analog. They've not slowed down, they're not letting him sit back and farm. They're saying, we need the Lash to make impact on the map right now, and we're bringing him bot lane to help 23.
These supports are... Yeah, Chen has 6, no ult. Let's see. Should be a kill, though.
Until the Lash stun, yeah, no getting out of this one. No saves as well on Nigma Galaxy nearby. GH is a little bit busy in the mid lane. Or rather, sorry, the top lane. If they can get this tower, it's not too bad. At least an early objective for them. Something. Not the most impactful tower, but...
They traded at least, right? Because they were losing the top tower anyway. Like, Dragonite was taking it, so... the only problem are the Ancient stacks, which they might lose now. Dragonite is in their triangle. The good old Mask of Madness armor build, of course. There's a couple of heroes that have just been way too good for way too long, by the way, and Dragonite, I feel like it's one of them.
I agree. And honestly, I feel bad. I feel bad for the pros because they gotta pick this guy. I know that some people enjoy him, but I can't, for the life of me, I cannot imagine. You know, they do this for a job, right? So they wake up, they have scrims, and can you imagine the average amount of Dragonite games that these pro players have to play? My goodness,
yeah.
I'd be bored out of my mind.
I mean, honestly, Viper is no better. He's maybe even worse.
I guess so.
It depends on what kind of
But you pick Viper
like
once every... I don't want to... Unless your name is XM, you're picking Viper like once every 2 or 3 months or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then Dragonite is just like day in, day out. It's like, honey, time to pick Dragonite. And you're just like, yes, okay, I guess I will.
You kind of throw him around like a hot potato, you know? And they play him on offlane, man. It's a good mid DK game. Play it on mid.
Yeah. Like, Sumail's like, no, man. This is the perfect Dragonite carry game, bro. You got this. Let me just pick Viper.
You got like an option to play something like a Puck or Invoker, like some Giga Brain heroes, and then you have an option to play Viper. Okay, I'm gonna go into a lane and literally stink. That's all I'm doing. I'm spreading my toxin around.
I'm doing some spitting. I'm doing some shitting, you know, causing general misery. That's that right now, Sumail. He's done a great job at it. 3k gold lead for Nigma Galaxy at this stage in the game, while Nemesis, they're still constantly trying to find some sort of a move, but Nigma Galaxy will try and match them now. A smoke in the middle of this lane. I wonder what it is they're looking for. Maybe they're expecting Nemesis to try and contest them at the Wisdom Shrine, but realistically, we're seeing that Nemesis are on the completely opposite side of the map.
I think they were expecting another smoke to go that way, right? Like the same way they killed Beast before, maybe. That was the idea. Honestly, it had to be, because it's, like you said, the Wisdom Shrine, so it would make a lot of sense for them to smoke in that direction.
Blink Dagger complete for the Lash, going to reveal it, but the stun off the mark. Thankfully, he's got a Haste Rune and a Wild Wing that just pushes him, thanks to the Chen. So he'll be safe, he'll be fine. Gets the information that 3 heroes are just standing around here. Aren't really getting much done on Nemesis. I guess they're getting their farm up, which isn't too bad. But you really want to find kills with this Blink Dagger first.
Just giving them the info as well on the Blink Dagger, right? Already everyone on Nigma should position themselves a bit more defensively. Pretty quick sharpshooter, of course. By the way, to save himself on the Hoodwink.
Yeah, now you got double blinks. So Jabs and Analog both opting for that first item blink. They want to get out on the map. They want to try and make space for 23. I can agree with this move. I just am struggling to see how they actually make it happen. You can see Nigma, they are almost what feels like expecting these kind of jumps in. Every single call is paired with a support.
Maybe they can play around the overconfidence on the other side, because they've been controlling the game completely, and then bam, double blink. Primal Beast ulti with Lash, like you have the damage. If you get Kaya on Lash as well, which he probably should very soon, like you have more than enough damage to take them down. Even the Viper, like if he's controlled, he's not that tanky. If he's silenced, if he doesn't have another toxin, if he's not brooding in that toxin of his.
He's actually going to use the Blink Dagger to get the Helm Overlord creep. They won't even find it. In fact, Eats a Sharpshooter, has the Onslaught away. That is very, very awkward. How often you see double Blink reveal on a ancient creep?
On a creep.
Of all things.
If you were doing some Herald reviews, you're probably seeing it a bit more often.
It's just funny because they didn't even get that guy. He survived, and somehow they did more damage to Jabs than they did to the creep.
Bot lane, Courage. Onto the Pugna. This should be a kill.
Very easy one for them to grab. Good little play. Tag teaming up between Jokum and 23. But mid lane, immediately you can see Nigma Galaxy on the hunt. In comes the blink. Naman is done. Nothing he can really do about that one. Jab's gonna come in and just blink Onslaught the wave. Pretty cute stuff to maybe try and get that backdoor regen kicking in as soon as possible and prevent this from being a further push.
That's Rush though. Straight into the pit, right? Like, you have Helm of Overlord, all these heroes. Like, a Viper actually at this point can tank it if he wants to as well. Rush just doesn't hit you that quickly, but they have the creep to do it instead. The Ancient, that is.
Sumail just missing one component for the Aghanim's completion. A very nice timing for his mid Viper. The pipe being worked on as well for Noob. This timing for Nigma, I mean, 20 to 25 minutes, they get that Tormentor, they're gonna run into some of these tier 2s, and I honestly struggle to see how Nemesis are going to be able to defend this. They're just a bit too behind on some of their items, and all the Chen really has is a mech, right? That's nowhere near significant enough to help them win these fights.
I agree with you, but if they play like some assassin-esque type of a gameplay, because they have 3 blinks, right? Like you have a blink on Ursa, blink on Lash, blink on Primal. I'm not saying it's easy, it's definitely not, but you can kill even these cores. Like Beast can fall, DK can fall as well. There are options, they are not easy, and a lot.
Gets blink stunned, tier 2000. Try for the disruption, but unfortunately there is a backup bushwhack there. At the very least, Jokum will get himself out, but you know, that's kind of the fear that you have, right? You have a Boots of Travel Viper, you're trying to split these waves, you're trying to delay this onslaught of Nigma from coming through, but they have so many tools to try and catch you.
no creep skipping allowed this time. They had a very, very nice cute ward by Omar around the Tormentor, so they had some defensive vision.
Still this bot lane area that's being controlled by Nemesis, but again, it's not really changing the fate. That tier 2000, he's just breathing at your front door. Looking towards another tier 2 tower now. To be able to take this one with ease, and like you mentioned, the train is not slowing down. It's got a destination, and that's a game number 3, Nigma Galaxy. They've got fans to impress. They've got people to disappoint. And they are hoping that the people to disappoint are named Nemesis, because right now, I mean, if you lose this game on Nigma, you're basically out of DreamLeague. There is very, very mathematically slim chance that it can turn back your way.
It looks like it might not be necessary to turn anything just yet. Like, they're doing absolutely fine in this match. Do you think the Tirsa can switch it all up? Like, he's been farming well. He's second in net worth. Like, the net worth is 5k advantage for Nigma, but he's top of the CS, second in net worth. He's got Basher, Blink. Like, he's got the items. I'm just curious if these items are enough. Because there's a lot of things that he... Yeah, right?
Do you have the time, though? That's the big question. K2000, he's working towards his own BKB as well. Able to get a free Tormentor for themselves. The shard on the Pugna definitely a little bit weaker than Omar's. I don't think Omar's bought it yet. He's hoping to grab it.
Yeah, if he doesn't get it, he buys it, right? Like, that's how important it is on this hero.
If you don't get it, you just punch the monitor and then buy it immediately afterwards.
Basically, yeah.
Damn it! Like, what the hell? Because the Pugna one is like... It's kind of dog shit. Like, it doesn't actually... You never really have a good use case for it. I don't think there's a world where a Pugna gets to stand there and slowly wait for his life drain to refract. And you're never really using life drain offensively as a support Pugna anyway.
Yeah, it's a bit of a meme, for sure. Like, once in a lifetime you see it being used well, but not very often. Meanwhile, on Hoodwink, the moment you get that shard, it's just bonus damage. It's simple.
People just die. People straight up die. Like, and then the Pugna life drains his nether ward and you have a little laugh and you just walk away. Omar will get it, so thank goodness no monitors punched here. Naman, he's
can't.
Naman? Okay. They're coming through the twin gates though. 23. I think you need to get the hell. 23. Okay. Coming through with the pulverizer, it was all a bait play. GH there with the Decrepify. Is it enough to keep Noob up? There's the Demonic Purge that we talked about. It's not really going to help. TA2000 there at the start. The other side in trouble with the disruption at the very last moment. They've lost Jax, but they traded out. This is not going to be a good situation for Nemesis. They can't even find that Pugna. Very ambitious attempt there from Nemesis. They were trying to go for what you were saying with the whole assassinate one hero at a time, but Nigma Galaxy, they were just ready for it.
They needed to do the assassination a little bit quicker. You know, it was a bit too slow. Flash. Akon's
gonna bounce towards him. Now he's locked in this weird death match with Omar because the Lord knows Omar's not gonna let him TP. On the reinforcements, try for a blink. Bushwhack off the mark. Are you serious? Little bit of a whiff there, Omar. You can see him shaking his head on the camera. He's a little bit disappointed because that should have been a freebie.
Yep, he had even the Acorn shot connected on Lash through the creeps, right? So he couldn't blink. He had multiple opportunities to use Bushwhack. He was just waiting for the Viper. Like, probably his thought process is, if I Bushwhack him right now, then my Viper might be too late and he TPs afterwards. So I get it. This whole engagement here was pretty damn cool from Nemesis, I gotta say, because the game was looking in a really... it looked like it was in a really bad shape for them.
Yeah.
It's not like the perfect trade. You kill the beast, you lose your Ursa, but at least you're making plays, and I don't think it was wrong from them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the way that it happened was a little bit awkward because they obviously 23 jumped in with his blink to fully focus down the creep first, right? So after that happens, you've already used your first set of spells, and then suddenly the Beastmaster comes through, which is why he took so long to die. I mean, GH coming through with the decrep as well, it didn't even end up actually mattering because there's the Demonic Purge, but because you already used your initial set of overpower charges on the creep, you don't have it for the like most of the times, I feel like with Ursa, I'm not much of a carry player myself, but my understanding is that you kind of preload one overpower charge and then you have the second one immediately after, and anyone dies, right?
Yeah. That's generally the consensus. Kill. Yeah, generally the idea. But
trying to make sure the boys can hear each other here. Seems like a bit of a global Discord issue, unfortunately.
By the way, where are you located? Because we're having.
I am from. Wait, are we having a good time? You think? Wait, let me check the ping. What's your ping?
It's not the worst. I mean, mine is 200, by the way.
Oh, they must have set this to. Okay, we might want to fix that because you know usually you're here covering for Winter, and myself and Winter were both Malaysia, Singapore, and I believe this server is Singapore.
It's
so
fine. It's fine. I truly don't mind. Like we aren't talking over each other way too much. I mean,
yeah.
So it's all good. No problem.
First time casting with Mr. Lizard, big honor.
Oh, honor is mine. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, I mean, this we got ourselves honestly a really cool series just because I think no matter whether you're a hater or whether you're a Nigma Galaxy fan, it's just fun to watch this team. I don't think this team has ever been difficult to watch, even when they're losing, even when they're absolutely shitting the bed. Low key, deep in your heart, if you touch your heart, it'd be nice to see them succeed. You know, it'd be nice to see when they win a team fight, the bad chests come out. Sometimes you just can't help yourself.
I mean, if you're anyone that works for Nigma, like you can pride yourself of having the best views this world has ever seen, the best viewers, because every time these guys play, like, it's just look at the numbers on Twitch.
Yeah, everyone comes out. Everyone wants to see either Nigma, whether you're a hate watcher, whether you're Miracle's biggest fan, everybody's watching. Everyone just wants to see what they get up to, and I mean, in this particular game, I think the fans are having a good-ass time because it's a 7k gold lead at this early stage. Nigma, they did a great job in the early stages to squash out some of these cores, and now Nemesis on the back foot. Oban being found, who's found who? Jabs now, Bushwhack not going to be a factor, but held in place by the TA2000 stun, and he is going nowhere.
Yeah, they kind of need the BKBs before they can play Dota, but like this is one of those games where even when you get the BKBs, it doesn't feel great. Lash, ooh. It's kind of lucky TA didn't try for a blink.
Scary business. There's Dragon Knight. He has most of his pretty significant items already, but with that Daedalus, heroes are going to melt even faster than they already were, which is honestly crazy to think about, but...
Some of these heroes, you know, like back in the day they had... When I say back in the day, a year or two ago, they had weaknesses. Sure, you take objectives well, you're strong in the lane, but your scaling isn't as great, you know? Like, they had some chink in the armor, something that you could work around, something that you could play around. But right now, like, heroes like Dragon Knight, like, he's strong in the lane, he's strong for pushing, he's strong late game.
Yeah,
there's
scales
just
well.
Nothing. Scales well, yeah.
I remember a period in time where Dragon Knight was strong in the lane, as we see Jokum just absolutely disappear. I remember Dragon Knight always used to be sort of more of an early hero, right? The scaling in the late game was always a bit of a difficult aspect. You usually talk about, okay, you know, this is where the Dragon Knight starts to fall off, right? He's not really doing as much damage as some of these other heroes. But then now you got like Black Dragon, you got like so much DPS just from the Dragon form alone. It's kind of disgusting. And now he'll bring that DPS to the high ground. Backed up by Noob, all the auras in the world. Easy push for them. No Shadow Demon for another 10 seconds. Nemesis, can you afford to defend this? Doesn't look likely. They're not even smoking up, they're just letting this happen. They don't really have a choice.
I'm not sure, like secondary side might be a bit too much. Ursa still has no BKB, by the way. That's the reason why.
Jabs has his BKB though. That's freshly picked up. What's gonna hang out 23, overpowering to the side, and that's enough for Nigma Galaxy to do a little bit of a fake back, smoke up on the high ground, and try and bait the side of Nemesis in.
Yeah, they're disciplined. They might find Ursa because of it. They're pinging him out, I believe. Yep.
High ground wall for 23, allowing him to get the vision. He's able to blink out in time. TA2000. Unfortunately, that Dragon Tail stun is a ranged projectile, so it doesn't connect on the bear in time.
He even tried kind of right-clicking before. He needed to jump on top of him, like just on top of him for that stun to work. It's like with Ravage. If you aren't on top of a target, he's gonna BKB or blink. You won't get the connection.
I mean, the Ursa also had a shield rune, so if you tried to like auto attack first, I think he'd still be able to blink in a weird thing.
That's true. Honestly, I feel that they could have been less disciplined this time around and just
I think that's the trend, right? Like with Nigma Galaxy, even in the previous game, like we always, whenever we see an alchemist, we talk about the timing window, and it just feels like it never happened because they were so scared. But Nigma, they're in such a commanding position, but they're playing extremely carefully, and I understand it because it's their last chance, right? It is their last chance. They're really, really scared. They want to make sure they can secure this win, so they're crossing all the T's, dotting all the I's and whatnot, but like, at some point you still gotta win the game.
Yep, absolutely. Sometimes waiting for a little bit too long puts you in a worse position, even though you're winning. Like in this game in particular, what changes? What changes between the push 24 minutes in and 27, 8 minutes in? Well, a lot with the BKBs, right? Like you're gonna have one on Lash completed. He was quite far away. He only had Yograx. Now he has a full BKB. And you will have one on Ursa eventually. He's, what, 200 gold away from it. One wave, basically, or less. So suddenly you have all these tools at your disposal. And up to this point, I would even say that the game was unplayable for Nemesis. I'm not saying that they're in a commanding position on that they're going to win, but the game became playable again.
Yeah, like now there's an option, right? Because that's what the Primal Beast plays for. We were talking about this hero and how it exponentially scales. The BKB just unlocks this whole other dimension where he can go in, probably shrug off most of the damage, and the only thing that can stop him is a Primal Roar. Now a noob, you can't just throw that out for a pick-off. You can't throw it down to stop the Ursa. You need it to cancel the Pulverize. If not, whoever's Pulverized is just toast. Hopefully the Discord issues all fixed here as we get back into the game. Now a playable one despite the 12k gold advantage for Nigma Galaxy. Still a bit scared of going for that second lane, maybe wanting to wait for the next Roche coming up. I'll spawn in 1.5 minutes from now. I guess that's not too long to wait. We talked about the BKB differential, but the second life would certainly help them feel a lot more comfortable. There also happens to be an AD rune that 23 manages to snag away. This might be an opportunity for Nemesis to try and fight.
Yeah, that's a smoke right there. They find the DD. I think... Oh, he went base to pick up the BKB instead, so he's gonna be a bit late with it, but it's still most likely a smoke. By the way,
they smoke on top of a ward though. They don't bother dewarding this triangle at all. They believe that there isn't any forward vision placed, and now this move is completely read by Nigma Galaxy. They can back up, find themselves a safe position. The circles are drawn in the Viper. He's very far away from the rest of his team with no real way of joining other than the creeps. Smoke's got to break. Shadow Poison on the high ground. There's the jump in. BKB, they found a target. It's going to be this Beastmaster, and he doesn't have a way out. TA2000 now being held in place. 23 starting to stack up. The charges of the Fury swipes. Sumail is in fact here. Jokum going to die on the high ground, but do they have a way of stopping the blink? No, they do not. Honestly, not too bad of a trade, but if Oma can find one more, that's great. Bushwhack completely off the mark. Do you have any way out of here on Analog? Turning around with a lot of damage in the stun! Jam's gonna find himself a double kill. Will probably fall to TA2000 and the auto attacks though, but this is much better than you could have asked for. And Ursa now.
Is this the
play? Him away. I'm not sure. Jumping back in with the stun, the decrep, a little bit of not what you want, but still gets the job done in the end. And the last member, Naman, can you TP out? Right around the tree line, TA2000 couldn't find him with the stun, but that reinitiation, once again, it's GH, the big player of Nigma Galaxy, salvaging that situation. It could have gone so well for Nemesis if they managed to kill TA2000, but the Yules at the very last moment.
But that was like...
What a close fight.
A close fight until the end. I think like up until Ursa re-engaged, this was a good fight for Nemesis, and then it was like, okay, whatever, fight. with Ursa dying, it's probably it is another good fight for Nigma. They had a huge advantage. They led a couple of kills, sure, but they still come out on top. If this Ursa just didn't go in, because think about it, like you're jumping into a Dragonite and Pugna. Like he had no ulti, he had no BKB. Your chances of killing anyone is only if GH disconnects. Like if he has 300 ping and 3 seconds delay with packet loss. I don't see any other way you are killing anyone.
Yeah, GH, one of the best players in the world without a doubt. For such a long time, there's no way he's letting that ball slip. Protecting his carry till the very end here. And back to life. Looks like they found Jokum trying to get a little sneaky with it. Trying to steal away the Shrine of Wisdom. Trying to contest that Aegis. As we can see, it's in the hands of the Dragon Knight. And I mean, in the replay we saw as well, honestly, Nemesis did such a good job collapsing on the same target. At some point, they had two heroes beating the shit out of the Dragon Knight, but GH just basically life drained his entire HP pool into the DK, keeping him alive. Not once, but twice jabs. Quick blink away after the smoke breaks.
Yep,
it's a play there.
Did a whole lot through that fight for sure. Dragon Knight, and they find anyone. Keep in mind that this Viper build is very active. Like, he's got the Blink, he's got the Hex. He didn't buy any, like, Shivas or anything, like, defensive. He's already got the Aghanim's and that's it. He's very mobile with this build.
Yeah. Line drawn. Nemesis. Trying for the good old wraparound. No wards in the area for Nigma Galaxy, so they're already feeling the pressure. Haven't seen Nemesis in too long, need to try and reposition.
You know what's different between this fight and the last one? Shadow Demon has Aghanim's, and now you have Purge.
Ooh.
Like, you didn't have it before. It could make a difference.
Stun out on the creep. Dragon Knight's revealed himself. The rest of the team, now Omar could be the one in trouble. All you need is a blink. You just need a little bit of vision. You spot the squirrel, jump in immediately, eliminate it. What can you do now? Purge out onto Sumail, but the Lotus is there, denying the pulverize. The break is there, but the kills come through again. The partner tried to be the difference maker in the fight, but 23 says no, jumps towards him, forces the defensive Yules. Yes, you've killed off Jokum, but now Analog's out of mana. TA2000 jumping forward. Where's the second initiation? Jabs. He needs to find a way out of here, but his BKB is out, and his Ursa is gone. Trying to onslaught away. This looked like it was supposed to be a much better fight for Nemesis. The jabs, blink, stone toss. He can't afford to die here. GH hot on his heels, even with the 4-star forward. Blink in 7 more seconds, but the TP out. The Yules though, you can't make that mistake. Turn around with the pulverize, but the important part is you don't even need to kill jabs, but GH gets it done anyway.
Yeah, they gave him the tips. I feel like Primal could have continued running. Like, he had double high ground there that he could lose the Pugna in, instead just try TPing in. He's way too speedy. Like, this Kelly boy with the Blink Force Yules, you're not gonna TP out of it without the BKB. Another fight that did look too terrible, I gotta say, from Nemesis at the beginning. The buyback was used on Omar, so keep that in mind. They get the side, but this game is still very interesting to me. I feel like there is still a slight comeback potential for Nemesis.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we are already seeing what this draft is capable of, right? You get the Purge off.
SD.
Jokum. He can't afford to die here, but gets stunned, gets caught again. Trying to clear out the vision for his team. Taking out the sentry immediately. He does have a buyback. 23 is going to try and seal away this Tormentor from under their noses, but this now means... I don't know if this is worth it, because then you don't have the enrage for the base defense. Nigma Galaxy, they're taking your last lane. You don't have it anymore.
Yeah, he just gave it. He just gave away the fact, exactly like you said. I mean, they had Aegis anyway, but still.
They try and jump forward, at least kill off that creep, but Hex up immediate. Oh my. Okay. Okay, well then that's that then.
Yeah, that's game.
I honestly could not explain what that was about. I mean, he's gotten away with killing the creeps a few times, but the Hex of the Viper just... It's not even a new item. Sumail has had that for a little bit now. And this is another game where it goes back to what we were saying. The final few moments coming in for sure. Primal Beast just gets raw mid-pulverized. Analog with the BKB, trying to turn around the damage. But again, look at the Pugna just saving this Viper. back up to half HP. No one's killing him here, and even continuing the drain. My goodness, TA2000 with the damage. Another game where it feels like one or two mistakes from the carry of the team ends up snowballing out of control. Way too difficult for them to come back from ever since the early stage. And Nigma Galaxy, they keep it tight, they keep it safe, but they will force a game number 3.
Yeah, very good draft from them.
Pull off against Analog in the mid lane. You were talking about this being a bit of an old school counter. Do you think it's going to work out for Nigma Galaxy? Do you think they have the better draft here coming into game 3?
I wouldn't say they have like much of a better draft. I feel like the drafts are good on both sides. I think this is still... I just want to see how much Noob does on Mars, because I think this is one of his better heroes. If he itemizes for the puck properly, I think that they can solve the Analog problem. But I think Analog is a problem. Like, when I'm looking at this game, sure, you get this Alchemist mid, but Puck is much stronger than he used to be back in the day. And also, like, you still have no solution to him through the game. It looks like one of those games where I would say that Puck could become the carry, not even the Dragonite down the line.
Yeah, you kind of have a like 2 semi-carries type situation on Nemesis, right? And myself and Winter, in the previous game we cast on Nemesis, we were talking about it a little bit. Maybe Analog can prove us wrong, because in the times where he was on Heroic, he was always kind of the space maker, right? He had a bit more of a sacrificial playstyle, I want to say. And Nemesis, yesterday, when they tried to put him on the DK mid, kind of make him a pseudo carry, it didn't work out, but I don't think it's his fault per se. I don't think it's because he played bad. So maybe on this park, something a lot more comfortable for him. We'll see him put the carry shoes on and send the Nigma fans packing. Early bounty runes, no big fights happening, but just kind of being outmaneuvered a little bit by Nemesis. They're able to grab 3 for themselves and burn a bit of mana on Omar as well.
Oops. Will be scouted, so Omar takes that one. A little bit of extra gold to start with. It feels really good rewarding these first observers, like the XP and the gold is nice. And most importantly, I would say for Nemesis, the lanes, unless something crazy happens here that we're watching, should start in an even way. It's not like Jabs just losing the range creep immediately.
Yeah, that one was really, really rough. I think hopefully Nemesis able to not just kind of let things snowball out of control. And like you mentioned, this park is geared up to become a very big problem. Even though the Alchemist, you know, you don't care about the park, but then the park still just gets farmed for free, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, are you going to take over that hard with an Alchemist that Puck won't even matter? I'm not really sure. I still think that they have to itemize for him, be it the Yules on Mars, the Orchid on someone, like on Abaddon, or Alchemist eventually. But in any case, they will need to find the items, because these heroes just don't have the spells. They don't have the spells to catch Puck, unless he really messes up early on.
I wonder what kind of build that Sumail Alchemist is going to go for, because I feel like in the past we've even seen Alchemist mids go crazy shit, like back when Solar Crest could be used offensively. You go Solar Crest and then you just play this hyper-active style. Also interesting that Sumail has just completely forgone the Unstable Concoction, because obviously it's just never going to work against the Puck, right? So he's gone for level and corrosive weaponry.
Yeah, some cool tech. Even better at this point to get stats than to get the Unstable versus him in the lane, that is.
I mean, that also tells me that, I mean, we'll have to see the level 3, level 4 choices in terms of skill build, but if he doesn't bother to level the Unstable Concoction, that also removes any possibility of him rotating. Omar not needing a rotation because Naman's got him dead. Very nicely done, and that's a classic Jakiro move right there. Not many supports, if any, can trade with this twin-headed dragon.
Yeah, I think this was one of the main reasons why Hoodwink stopped being played at some point. It's because Jakiro was played as a 5 24/7, and you just cannot trade against him. It's like the worst hero. Sure, you can maybe kill him if you get like a good bushwhack into some sort of an offlane stun, but if you tried fighting him like he did, you just died 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah, not happening. And Naman's gonna get that level 3 too. So the level 2 in the Liquid Fire or Liquid Frost, you are not going to get anything done unless you 100 to 0 him. Let's see. This GH, Kotal, and K2000 Abaddon. Don't think anything's gonna happen to them, especially not with a Clockwork in the lane. It's a little bit awkward to try and make anything or make any aggressive move. You're just, I guess, playing for farm a little bit here down with the Pango.
Yeah, I don't see what a position 5 Coral will do as well, though, in the laning stage itself. Like, you can feed mana and you can sustain your safe laner, but your aggressive moves are basically... They're basically
like
zero.
Blast.
Yeah.
Like press blast and hope that the opponents walk into it.
The problem is the problem is you can't really blast, because if you're blasting, you're just pushing the lane all the time, and your carry probably doesn't want that 90% of the time. So
yeah, I mean, Dota at the highest level is so much about creep equilibrium that I think that's why we don't even see Kotal that much anymore. Even in the games where you're kind of picking Storm and you're trying to be this mana battery, he's so awkward to make work around the map because you just need this long blast setup and you need a specific set of heroes to keep them in place so that the blast actually lands. It's just a mess. So, I mean, if there's anyone who can make it work, it's GH. But for now, he's just kind of tanking a couple of cogs from Jokum. Trades back and forth, no biggie.
Yeah, he used to be, even when he was a popular support, he used to be a 4, because you could allow yourself, in that meta at least, to just push in the lane, right, on the offlane, and then go into the triangle, stack it up. On safe lane, I don't think it's as bad anymore. You know why? Because you have the Ancients, and they're close. And if you...
Oh, true.
So, as Keeper, like, you might be able to make something happen by stacking the Ancients and pushing in, so...
Yeah, Lizard, you're giving me some ideas here. Maybe next game I pick some Kotal 5 and then I can double net work, you know? My pos 1 farms the lane, I farm the Ancients slowly but surely. Surely that's going to work out.
I don't think you're gonna farm the Ancients, but you can stack them for your carry.
I can definitely farm the Ancients if I blast it 4 times in a row.
4 times?
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I'll get there. It's all about the patience.
Maybe 14, you know, if it's a low-level blast, but... Yeah, if you're patient enough, sure.
Couple of clarities, you know, bring back the jungle meta on the pulse 5s. Winter and I were just talking about that whole meta with the not gyrocopter, the Venomancer with the stacking plague wards. You cosplay a support, but really you're just running into the jungle at like level 1 and leaving your carry sad and crying.
One of the top lane, they're trying to go on Mars. Ooh, he's kind of tanky.
Yeah, I feel like double bracer and 2 gauntlets of straight. I mean, his arms are just absolutely padded up right now. I don't think they can get through him. Maybe now that he's half HP or less.
Yeah, there are certain clubs in Bosnia where people dress like that. You know, you just gotta show all the bling.
Are those good clubs or are those bad clubs? I can't even tell.
It depends what you like. You know, sometimes it depends in what kind of a mood you are.
That's fair. If you're in the mood to see some biceps out, you know, just
exactly
big arms, yeah. Or if I wanted some biceps, I don't even need to go to a club in Bosnia. I just turn on the Lizard stream and ask for a flex or something.
Yeah, just coming to your home just for $2. Times are rough.
That's a premium service right there. 23, he's taking very low, but again, another hero with quite a lot of HP to work through. Can't quite do it at the moment. Very quiet early game, much like game 2. Both teams choosing to be conservative, right? They're not really forcing the issue. Naman's come down here through the Twin Gate. Oh, DK 23, so much for conservative. He still tries to run up and takes the second salvo of spells. Ends up going down.
Yep, he was conservative. Should have been a bit more, perhaps. Nice rotation by Jakiro trying to make a difference, but instead, yeah, your carry dies. This is like Dota 101 for me. I move from the lane, my carry dies. I feel bad. I stay in the lane, nothing happens. I feel bad.
And Naman's just gonna be like, okay, you know, on paper, my DK is supposed to be able to survive the lane, and then he looks up, 23's dying. You're like, come on, brother. What the hell we pick your Dragon Knight for if you're gonna die in the lane? A GH now gonna get caught up by some calls. Looks like Jabs is thinking about wrapping around, but GH just a bit too tanky at the moment. The calls don't do very much damage.
He's stopping the
It seems
stats.
like the plan here, yeah, is it just they're just going to liquid fire this tower until it goes down for the next 2 minutes?
It seems that way because he's 1-1-3, right? Like that's the build on Jakiro Alchemist.
Rotation early on from Sumail, gonna catch that poor Clockwork off guard. Have the haste rune, so no getting away here. An easy pickup there for the Alchemist coming through from the mid lane.
Yeah, he had a solid lane. He farmed well against the puck, nothing crazy, but he has found a lot of farm top of the network shards, of course, because he's an alchemist, another kill as well for him. Radiance will be the build. I didn't really expect anything crazy from the Alch. I don't know, maybe after the Radiance, but the first two items are probably just gonna be Radiance and Blink. That's it.
Is Radiance really that good? Because now they're just gonna have double Radiance, right? TA 2000's queuing it up as well.
What else would you buy? That's my only concern.
I thought you would go for like an Orchid Blink type situation.
Yeah,
But I guess then your farm just slows down to a crawl and it's really awkward. Top lane, Jokum. Nice sidestep on the spear there, and Analog's gonna come in with the coil. Looks like it should be a dead Omar. He's trying to juke the orb. Does manage to do so, but the coil will still break. So nice little bait play there from Jokum and quick footwork.
Yeah, onto the tier 1 top lane. They didn't manage to take down bot. You're playing into Coddle Abaddon, so they're taking top instead. But now Coddle is going top to defend. So that's the idea behind the Coddle. Just blast the waves as they're pushing in.
It's not really working out for them. The tower's still going down, so unfortunately GH a little bit late.
Yep. And Jakiro eventually can move bottom and take down that tier 1 tower as well, so...
Yeah. I think he... Did he not get it already? Oh, it's like a sliver of HP left. Looking towards the mid lane, onto Sumail, forcing that Chemical Rage, but level 1 doesn't really give you that much regen. No save from Omar, he's not playing a Ringmaster this time, and the only box he'll be in is a coffin. Omar able to juke out the Rolling Thunder, but Jab's coming through with a second swing of the spells. All he needs is a swash off the mark, but the shield crash will find him. Crashes right on top of that squirrel's head. Nice little set of plays there from Nemesis to open up this mid lane, and they'll start putting the liquid fire into the tower. GH is going to blast away this wave.
What's he buying, by the way? That's another question that I have. Like, how does this position 5 Coddle actually...
itemize, like maybe the classic items. Like I want to say, I wouldn't expect anything less than like a Glimmer, Solar Crest, 4-staff type thing. You know,
the standard. I think it's about the Solar Bind, I guess, right now, right? Because with the Solar Bind, you're going to have that extra damage immediately with the Hoodwink. You might be able to even take down the puck, like if you land the Bushwhack. Like, you don't need too much control if you can kill him in a second.
That's true. Mid lane tower is going to go down despite the blasts as we saw. So all 3 tier 1 towers taken away. Also, I saw something, but I don't know whether I'm tripping out. Does GH have 2 wind lasers?
He does, he does. I don't know. I think he just messed up.
Yeah, maybe a misclick there. One thing's for sure, he's moving quick, so I don't think anyone's noticing. They're like, God damn, that boy is fast.
It's one of the faster heroes in the game, and that's all he has, basically. Even when you play Coddle, you want to max out on the movement speed, because you have such a low amount of armor and HP. If you're caught, you're dead. And he might be caught.
Naman has his eyes on TA 2000, instead wants to force the level up of the borrowed time, sorry. GH will go down to Jabs on the jump. Analog.
Oh, nice.
Doesn't have a coil, but it's a beautiful hook from Jokum, like you said. Straight through the tree line. Gets it done. 2 clean kills here for Nemesis. And they're the ones ramping up the pressure. Not Nigma Galaxy again.
Yeah, this is looking rough for Nigma, I gotta say. Alchemist is farming Dragonite. Dragonite on the other side, though, is still higher net worth, so...
Nice play there from Noob. Quick spear into TP out. That's the only way he survives that. If not, the Rolling Thunder kills him for sure. But yeah, I don't know if I like this very much, because now you have the Abaddon farming, you have the Alchemist farming. Who's making plays, right? I think you run into this problem with the Koto, hold that thought. Sumail being spotted out by a ward. Nice bushwhack. Gets the stun, gets the sharpshooter. That's what you need to do. Oma will answer that call, and Noob now running into the mid lane, wants to use that arena. It's bright as day, and Nemesis see him coming from a mile away.
That's a really cool play, but it's like a crazy play because that's the only position, almost the only position on the map where it can work, right? Because you get the bushwhack without Puck being able to react because he doesn't even see it. You're in the tree line, he's in the tree lines, like he cannot react. Plus Alchemist was right there as well.
That's just a bit unfortunate because you can see the only reason why Puck was in that area is because he didn't know there was advanced vision. Right next to that wall that spotted him out, there's actually a sentry, so it's just out of range. A little bit unfortunate. TA2000, if he gets caught here again, that's going to be painful. Saving the inhibit for when that ultimate procs. Really nice execution there from Jabs, and he's on a killing spree on his Pango. TA2000, not very happy about that.
Second time he dies before the Radiance, right? Like, at least he does have the Relic now. I believe it was in the courier, should be delivered. So, the 2 Radiances, Alchemist, of course, will be getting his first. With the full Talisman of Invasion needed for the Abaddon. But, like, you get this Radiance and then you still kind of need to farm. It's your farming item. It's not necessarily your farming item on either one of these 2 heroes.
Yeah. Again, I just wonder at what point Nigma Galaxy will be ready to make plays, because we saw that jump onto the Puck in the mid lane. That was nice, but for now, it's just Nemesis all over the map, starting to put the pressure onto 23. In comes the Alchemist, but this is a very tanky Dragon Knight. Noob already doesn't have any HP left. And Sumail, yes, you got a Radiance. You might be able to cut down Joker. The Victory Feast is going to keep him up and running. 23 all alone here. Where's the backup? Meanwhile, there's a fight happening bot. They kill off the Dragon Knight, but looks like they're aggressing again onto TA2000. Jabs with the Rolling Thunder and Analog with the Coil. They catch the carry of Nigma Galaxy again, but still, overall, not too bad given that you're trading out.
Yeah, given that you're trading out and that Puck can actually scale to be the ultimate win condition for your team, and that Pango as well is scaling very nicely, of course, not too bad. But for Nigma, yeah, this is a kind of a trade that perhaps you needed.
You would love for TA2000 not to die there, but the only reason why, you know, nobody TP'd to help 23 is because they're killing your carry. So, kind of forced situation. Nemesis still very much wanting to play in this bot side area. I'm just wondering, yeah, you'll see the adjustment immediately. TA2000 realizes, yeah, I can't be down there. The second I show, they're just going to run at me. They want to play there anyway. Just going to farm the safe area near the Wisdom Shrine.
They have a blink, by the way, on Alchemist now. It's flying out. So this hero is more or less completely activated now. Like, you get the initiation.
Pretty interesting build from the Clockwork. He rushes a blink over any other item.
You don't see that often. Interesting, to say the least, yeah.
We've seen some other Clockwork specialists like Schofield go for this as like a second or third item if they need to just jump in cogs and then like force stuff out or something. Maybe they're viewing it as a good tool to control. Nice roll-up immediately. Call as well. Not the blink reveal that you wanted, but there's the Macro Pyre Arena trying to keep him safe. But the roll from Jabs, it's clean, it's nice, and it's locking Sumail in place. The blink forward, the cogs, immediately playing off. And Sumail, he just doesn't have the backup that he needs. Nemesis, they were so ready, and in comes Joker. No mana for cogs though. And now he's getting pushed back. Has to stick charges up. Where's his team? Will get blasted down. Tries to find one more play. And ends up paying with his life, but still a very good situation for Nemesis.
I would argue if he didn't have Blink, he would hookshot the Alchemist, which would lead him into a better position than he was right now, so he wouldn't have Puck. But
that's true.
I mean, I'm just joking. Like, overall, let's see what he can do with the Blink. It's an interesting choice for sure. They get the Alchemist, it's a good kill. I guess with the Blink you can also jump the Coddle a little bit easier. He's an elusive hero. You can catch the backlines.
Yeah.
Like,
the main thing is just that hook shot, you need to worry about making it through the eventual Abaddon Manta illusions, assuming Alchemist is going to get one as well, some illusions. There's some beefy front line, but we saw kind of the intention there already in that fight. You just jump forward with the cogs. It's really annoying before the Alchemist or the Abaddon get their BKBs.
I think it becomes even more annoying once you get the shard on block. Up until the shard,
true.
when you're jumping in, you're still committing, but once you get the shard, like you said, or a Force Staff.
Jokum getting caught here. not allowed to blink, will get blasted and blown up. Sumail there, getting some revenge, but 23 in with the damage. Ice Path, he runs into it, getting bumped around, but he's healing up so much. You don't have any way of stopping the sustain from coming in. And now with the stun, this Dragon Knight is dead. Victory Feast now running forward. They want to find more. Naman, he's a speedy little dragon, but can he outrun these guys? Spear off the mark. The drums is going to give him the move speed he needs, but look at how fast they're moving, trucking all over the map. And now to Bushwhack, the Solar Bind, another kill. Nigma Galaxy, they're here to play, they're ready to fight, and they are bringing the heat to Nemesis.
You know what? There's just a lot of added damage from the Coral, eventually from the Shard of Hoodwink as well. They're finding these kills kind of too easily, I would say. Like, I didn't expect Dragonite to be dying this quickly. In the fights. Like, Alchemist is surprising me a little bit with the damage output in this game right now. He's not controlled all too much, or at least in that last fight he was controlled, but he survived through all of it.
Yeah, let's run through exactly what kept this Alchemist alive, because you have Essence Ring, you got Chemical Rage, you got Solar Crest from the Kotal, you also have the Polywalk Charm from the Kotal,
as well,
just giving him health regen. Yeah, so all these things just adding up to make him this beast. And you gotta remember as well, TA2000 wasn't in position in that fight. You think 1 or 2 Aphotic Shields? This guy is going to be almost impossible to kill if you don't get something like a soul. I want to say maybe even a Spirit Vessel would have been nice on something like the Pango or the Clockwork, but they don't have anything like that for the healing reduction.
Yeah, the problem versus Abaddon, if you want to buy the Spirit Vessel, you like even buying an urn sometimes feels bad into that hero because of the shield, right? Like you buy it, he just shields the target after.
Yeah,
it's like a big investment. But I absolutely agree. I get your point. Maybe a Shiva's or something like that eventually. No heroes that are going to buy that though on their side. Like no one is buying Skadi, no one is buying Shivas. These heroes just don't do that.
Yeah, every single time 23 has shown up to a fight so far, it's ended up for the worse. He's still keeping up. In terms of net worth, he's doing much, much better than the Abaddon, who was struggling, but the big story of this game is Sumail, right, on his Alchemist. We talked about him needing to make an impact, and he absolutely has in the past few minutes. Another smoke out for the Nigma Galaxy side. They're looking towards the top lane, gearing up for this Tormentor fight, but so are Nemesis. Let's see who gets the better. Ward in the mid lane. Ward in the middle of the lane, sorry. Yo's complete for the Mars, but a big wraparound.
They see the couriers, they know exactly what's happening.
Sentry gets dewarded. GH first one spotted, jump in immediately, eliminating the Kotal. They'll try, but he's invis, he's healed. They can't finish him off just yet, and meanwhile, Puck on the backline. Being controlled, Analog is dead. They still have yet to kill off GH. Shielded up now by TA2000, and Dragon Knight has to thank his lucky stars that he manages to get out of that one.
Jabs, he's stuck.
He has a roll up. It doesn't have a TP, and he will get chased down. 2 of the cores taking a tumble here from Nemesis as a very nicely played fight from Nigma Galaxy. Get themselves a tier 1 and get themselves the Tormentor to boot.
Man, this is one hero that if you're jumping 90% of the games, you're expecting to kill, right? Like immediately. If Coral gets jumped, the consensus is he's already dead. You don't have to think about it. But all these small little items, like he had 20 magic wand charges, the Essence Ring as well, the positioning of the fight as well was kind of wonky. He was able to get to the edge of the arena, or was pushed to it, and then the Illuminate Blast as well to heal up. I mean, it's a wonderful play by him, but also kind of fortunate as well.
There's a reason why I don't really like this Clockwork, and we saw it right there in the fight. The Cogs actually griefed the jabs on the Rolling Thunder, because if the Cogs weren't there, he would have rolled forward, killed off GH, and then you can try and take the fight the next step forward. All these little factors, like the glimmer that GH now has, in the previous fight it was Omar who kept in invis, and then suddenly your supports are panicking, running forward to try and place sentries and putting themselves out of position. It was just a mess for Nemesis, and in the blink of an eye, look at that, 8k gold lead at the 21-minute mark. Nigma Galaxy, they are trooping on forward.
Yeah, that's the Alchemist effect after a couple of 1 fights. The Shard as well taken. All the tier 1 towers. The one on the mid lane about to fall. And of course, Hoodwink getting that Shard is always nice. So now you have Solar Bind, which adds up quite a nice chunk of damage. And then on top of that, you've got the Boomerang. Like, if Dragonite was dying fast, he's gonna die even faster now.
He needs that BKB desperately, and he's working towards it next, but this game, it's just felt like 23. He's not really able to enter it. The previous game, that Dragonite TA2000 showing up big time for his squad. In this game, the Abaddon not looking too hot, but Sumail, he's the man in charge when you need him most. Jokum trying for a steal, jumping in. Can you find the last hit on the Roche? Absolutely not. Last little bit of damage, not there, and GH again, the difference maker there, pushing him away. The tips come through. I mean, GH, he is having himself a series desperately needed for Nigma Galaxy to salvage this current situation that they're in DreamLeague.
By the way, buying Holy Locket on the Coddle, adding up some extra heals to himself as well. Very nice. Cool itemization. Like, whenever I see a Keeper of the Light, I expect some offensive items, you know? Like, because we're just used to seeing this hero on the mid lane more often than not. But this is...
get some Dagons, get some Hexes, get some Blinks, Aghanims maybe even.
Some Octarine core, you know, have that ulti going 24/7.
Yeah, that's juicy. That's what you like to see. I mean, GH, no one's gonna complain about him this game. He is doing everything his team needs. Now, trucking on towards these tier 2 towers. That's the expectation once you get that Aegis. They push on forward. Is there any timing that... Oh, that was... That... Well, I guess 23 Savage needed a break from the bad luck, right? He's been getting caught out in pretty unfortunate positions. We can let him go this one time.
Makes me feel good. I miss those kind of bushwhacks, you know. It can happen to the best of us.
That's true. A little bit unfortunate there, but it still doesn't really change the state of the game, right? The fact that all you need to do right now is dodge as much as possible. Speaking of dodging, again, you're trying to kill GH, but this man, he's just a bit too tanky. He's gonna heal himself all the way up, and somehow you've barely scratched him. You need a TP away. GH Coddle is way too strong, and the Radiance is gonna burn out the Jakiro, found himself in the jungle.
Yeah, they're getting...
Try on the spear. Analog still should be able to escape here, though. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know Nemesis. Even with this kill on the +5, they can't even get it, Lizard.
Yeah, the Aphotic Shield, of course, Solar Crest, Glimmer, and the Holy Locket. But the Aphotic Shield, of course, allowing GH to cast the spells. By the way, we were talking about Puck earlier, like how he could become the win condition, and because of that, he kind of itemized in such a way that, you know, he wants to be that. He's going for Blink Parasma, like full Parasma after a Blink. However, Alchemist has an Orchid, I believe. Does he have it? He just had it almost completed.
He changed up. He changed up. So, wait, does he have it flying out? No, he changed up to the AC. So, it was a bit weird because I know exactly what you're saying. I saw it queued up for Alchemist for a long time. And at the same time, I saw Puck had queued a Lincoln. So, both of them kind of changing their minds. I think Sumail probably believing we're gonna win this game in like 15 minutes. Like, there's nothing this Puck can do. He can't scale up in time. This time,
23.
Omar's not gonna miss the bushwhack.
Yeah.
23 again. Yule's up. Spear ready. Not even using it just yet. They're respecting the BKB charge. Not wanting to throw out an arena willy-nilly. And that's painful. This defense is gonna be a lot harder now for Nemesis.
You know, this Coddle is actually very annoying for the Pango to play into. Like, your Swashbuckle Diffusal isn't really doing... I mean, it's doing damage, but it's not preventing a team from pushing because someone is missing mana 24/7.
Yeah. Usually that'll be a problem for heroes like the Abaddon, like the Alchemist, but this Coddle has just solved so many of those problems. I like the way that Nigma are playing across the map right now, leaving Noob and Omar on the outskirts. They know that's probably where a Nemesis core is farming. And they also know that Nemesis are in no position to challenge Sumail. So now they just have a hunting party roaming the map, looking for this crucial core kill that can further push the game in their favor. They're getting real close to this Dragonite, but Noob will show himself on the wave now.
He has no BKB, right? So he has to be a bit more careful on Dragonite. Blinks out immediately. Can't mess around. Yeah, I don't know. Like, the AC on Alchemist sure makes him a stronger core in a sense. Like, you take objectives, it brings more utility to the team, but it just keeps Puck unchecked for a little while longer.
Yeah. See whether this decision ends up biting him in the bum. 23 now, getting stunned up. Where's the follow-up? Nice cogs there from Jokum to keep them at bay. Noob at least. Jump forward there from TA2000. Naman, he's not getting out of this one alive. Try for the bushwhack. Gonna be a swing and a miss, but still, TA2000, he's right there. You can't even hook shot to safety. They immediately ping out jabs. They know he's in that area from the direction of the hook shot, but they won't be able to find him. So both supports out. Nigma Galaxy continuing to march ever steadily towards this series win. The first one for them.
Because of this kind of a fight, AC now is much better, right? Because Orchid, while you're hitting towers, doesn't really do a lot. AC, on the other hand, does. So you get that bonus sustain, the minus armor as well. Take down objectives a bit faster.
Very, very quick. Just grab the racks. No real contention. And it's all a big domino effect. 23, he's still desperately trying to get towards that Daedalus so he'll have enough damage. Shiva's now complete by the puck. Having to skip over that Parasma needs the armor and needs a way to reduce that regeneration. In jumps 23, they found GH. This time round, they'll burst him down. Surely, surely, no! Hidden away again, are you serious? But here comes the blast, here comes the damage. 23 able to get the job done. But Sumail in the backline again, killing off Naman, you have to buy back. Analog starting to do a number onto Noob, the Rolling Thunder as well. Kind of being griefed by the cogs, and no one's helping out the Dragon Knight. He's gonna get fully focused down by Sumail. You buy back on GH. And the rest of Nigma Galaxy, they're standing strong on this high ground. Gets the stun onto Jabs, but they don't see him just yet. Now around the tree line, they'll spot out the Pango and silence him up. Nowhere to run. Do you have any follow-up? Analog still trying to dance around and do whatever damage he can. The Ice Path will keep them at bay, and GH still kills off Jokum. Omar being kept alive here by his allies. All that really takes is a buyback from GH. Analog, you gotta be so careful. TA2000 can jump you. Can't afford to die here. Nemesis looked like a pretty decent start to the fight, finally being able to blow up GH, and the Dragon Knight standing his ground, but the second the Alchemist just gets to work on him, you can't win that fight alone.
Absolutely not. Puck did manage to play around them in the back for sure, but he even itemized for this Shivas that we talked about, right? Like, it's such a good Shivas game. If you can't buy a vessel, like Shivas is perhaps the next best thing. Still not good enough. Another set of Raxes will not fall. SDK is up in 5 seconds, but they're doing the same thing again, the insta smoke as they're retreating.
And they need to figure something out on Nemesis, because it's been multiple fights in a row now where I'm seeing this Rolling Thunder caught in the cogs. You pick the clockwork to lock up your opponents, not your own allies. It's not really working out for them at all.
Is that the idea between the Blink and the Boulder Rolling Thunder? Sorry, but it's just not working. Maybe they wanted to use it more effectively.
Close someone in there.
Close someone in and then Blink in with the Rolling Thunder. It's just not working.
It doesn't even... Yeah, it doesn't even really make sense. I think in an ideal world, like you're thinking about the fight from Nemesis, right? You're hoping that the clockwork jumps one side and Jabs controls the other, right? If you're able to kite away with the clockwork and hold the Alchemist or TA2000 in place, and then meanwhile Jabs is killing the back line along with Analog, that's ideal. But then now you're reaching a situation where no one is really helping 23. He's getting killed off. Naman's just getting run off through collateral. How are you supposed to take this fight? Analog just can't kill heroes fast enough. You got that Aphotic Shield shard now. Gotta be reflecting some of the damage a la Blade Mail.
He needs a couple of extra
move
items.
Out from Nemesis.
That's how you kill them, right? If you're Puck. Oh, maybe you can kill Noob though. He's kind of isolated.
Jabs caught on the high ground, not where he wants to be, but the Ice Path will still help out Jabs. You gotta get down from there. They will find that kill, and 23 swoops up another. Omar will go down. Nice little play there from Nemesis to find themselves a little bit of something. And Jokum, he has to try and look for this hook shot, but not going to risk it.
They have vision on TA2000, by the way. He has no blink. He's caught.
Okay. Is he just dead? I mean, no one's around to help him. GH is a bit too far away. He popped the borrow time. Any way of slowing him down though. GH rushing over, but the blink dagger will help him. Analog jump up to the high ground. Shivas with the vision. Silence up as well, but the glimmer keeping him under. Nice blink, and the cogs again. TA2000 continues to be caught. The heal is there, but Naman coming through with the Macropire, and looks like they've got him. Jokum's gonna come back through with the hook shot. Buybacks coming out as Nigma Galaxy trying to win this fight. Sumail, big bad Alchemist, trying to round out the rear, looking for an opening. Doesn't have to blink just yet. They need to disengage here. 23, he can't afford to be left behind. They'll go to the back and they'll find the puck. 1 minute without your mid lane pseudo carry, and 23 now being used up.
Good arena.
The arena catches 2. This is going to be troublesome if Nemesis can't get out alive. And the stun connects onto both Jabs and Naman. 23 desperately has to run for the kills, and his teammates, they're just forfeit. But GH is not letting him get out. Dancing around the bushwhacks, the solar vines. Where are you going, little Dragonite? This is not a home safe for you. Naman will be able to escape TP back, but you have buyback on all your calls, but that was maybe another situation, Lizard, when Nemesis, they're just overplaying their hand.
I mean, how do you not overplay it? It's just such a silly situation to be in. Like, some Abaddon is taking your outpost without a blink, you catch him and then you chase a little bit too far out. You already, because they had 2 kills, right? And then they also get the Abaddon Zult out. So of course you're gonna chase. Like, there is no team in this world that wouldn't take, like, they wouldn't go for this.
We kind of got to go back to live here because the game might be ending, but we'll see in this replay that K2000 got so close, he ends up going down in the very end. But this might be the final fight that we're seeing on our screens here. Solar Crest to try and keep the puck safe, but the sharpshooter will finish him off. He didn't have to buy back for that situation, but now he might have to. Not going to be given an option. Nigma Galaxy, they want this win and they want it bad. In comes Jabs. Swashing, playing around, getting silenced up, no save. But the buyback from the puck will scare them away and the call can't stop them. K2000, easy blink out. And it's an instant retreat. Nigma Galaxy being disciplined.
Yeah, this time around you can take the outpost. You don't have to be too worried. There's a DD rune as well. Mars is up. They're not gonna take it, by the way. Okay, they're not taking the outpost. I take that back. Straight into the pit instead. There's
no need to take an outpost you've already captured, right?
Oh, actually, you're right. My bad. I thought it was Dyer's for some reason. In any case...
No, I get you.
Mars can TP. He TPs to the tier 2.
TPing to the outpost would be insane. Like, that's a game-losing play right there. But Nigma Galaxy, they're being real safe. And Nemesis, this really does feel like their last chance. They're gonna try for another wraparound. It's been a move that has defined this team so many times. Let's see whether it works out here. Jump GH first. Smoke gonna break, but TA2000 just jumps right in the middle. Starting to fight on 23. Do you have any way of stopping him from popping the ultimate? No, you don't. 23 now, in a duel against Sumail, they get GH, no buyback. Arena on the backline, Spear is there, but who can kill the puck? Sharpshooter's there, puck is there! No buyback for him, but 23, he's still doing the damage. You don't have Chemical Rage for another 5 seconds, that's what Sumail is waiting for. There's the control. Sumail will be able to pop the Chemical Rage shortly, out of mana, but still not out of damage. Will beat into Jokum. There's the finish from
23.
23 is still on the back line, finding TA2000, but he is not going to survive against the Alchemist and Chemical. Him down. That is no more Dragonite for you. He bought out for that fight and he doesn't have the buyback available. And now it's all on Jabs and maybe Jokum. Nigma Galaxy, do they want to try and force it, or are they just going to wait? It looks like they're playing conservative.
Yeah, it looks like they will be waiting. Not even going into the pit right now, as they only have 2 heroes. These 2 heroes, yeah, they push, but they don't push extremely fast, so no reason to force it. Just gonna wait for all of their teammates, get a couple of extra items, then go into the pit. But what this also means, of course, is that Nemesis will have another fight in them, right? The way that fight started was kind of weird. I mean, every Abaddon wants to do exactly this. You want to jump in. But after he jumped in and his ulti was popped, they perfectly just ignored him. So he didn't really heal up at all, and he couldn't really... He goes on Jakiro, but that's about it. Afterwards, he's basically eliminated from the engagement. So, a pretty...
I mean, the fact that he jumps as well the entire fight. Sumail, he's just running around with no Chemical Rage. He's barely doing any damage to this DK, right? But we see the stark difference once he does have that ultimate available. And of course, Omar and Noob, the tag team duo that have been together since the Quest days, they do such a good job. They completely eliminate the puck on the right side of the fight, not allowing him to cast a single spell. And that is a major problem, especially now with Nigma Galaxy getting a free Roche for themselves. I guess both Alchemist and Abaddon are like pseudo transformation heroes because they rely on their ultimate. So there isn't really a great Aegis carrier. And I guess you're relying on TA 2000 to maybe hit the rack. So I guess this makes sense.
Yeah, both of them could have taken it honestly, and I would make a case for either one of them why it's good or bad. Honestly, maybe Abaddon. Realistically, this hero should be unkillable, but so far he's been well controlled by Dire, so I can see why they give it to him.
As Jokum there with the cogs, just trying to be as annoying as possible. Naman, you gotta watch yourself. Ice Path there on the back line. Looks like Jab's got control. Analog gonna jump in with him. Nice Shivas onto 3. Rolling Thunder as well, crashing in. T2000 in a little bit of trouble, but the problem is 23 can't get in range. And now the puck is just there. Again, Noob just has his number in a game where we talked about Analog. He should have a pretty free time here. The lack of control, but Noob just been perfect with the spears in the arenas, eliminating the puck. And like we said, it's the Nigma Galaxy experience. It's Mars, played by Noob, one of his signature heroes for sure, and he is showing up big time when the team needs him most. Being controlled up, nullified as well. TA2000 dropping very low, but still has that ultimate. And Sumail just beating into the back lines, having to buy back immediately on the Jakiro. And 23, he just stands no chance. GG is called, and unfortunately for Nemesis, it is very statistically unlikely that they can continue any further at DreamLeague. But Nigma fans rejoice because they live to fight another day.